Mark, are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Are you ready?
I think I'm ready. Are you ready?
You look tired.
Me? A little bit.
Late night?
Yeah.
Early morning.
Early morning. Yeah.
We've all been there.
That's true. We're back. Back here in the studio. I don't know when you're going to be seeing this episode. It might be months from now, but it's okay. We're going to throw it in the scheduler and see what happens. But I'm here. Alex Gonzalez, that's me. Mark's here.
How we doing?
Great. Thanks for asking. Jared's here. And we have a special... Whoa.
Starting already.
We have a special guest with us. Mike is here representing Hooten Young.
How you guys doing?
We're not going to take this interview too seriously. We're just going to have some fun with it. And then we'll bring back Hooten Young on for a second time. Well, I guess a third time at that point for a more official episode. But Hooten Young is always doing so much stuff, especially now. There's always going to be something new to talk about.
True.
Yeah. What are you smoking now?
I'm doing a Paladin, Connecticut. So something to wind down the day with a little bit. But I enjoyed this guy. So we came out with this a little bit earlier this year, but our blender did a phenomenal job. Super creamy, very delicious.
He's going to fix that for you.
Oh.
Make sure you speak into it.
Thank you very much. I feel like if I was closer, I might be making out with the ghost of Christmas past.
That Paladin Connecticut is a very, very good Connecticut, I will say.
I'm obsessed.
One of my new favorites, honestly. It's just so creamy and smooth and buttery, and I really liked it.
But it's still got enough kind of a backbone to where it doesn't get lost either. So that's where I tell people all the time, I'm like, dude, I can start my day with this and end my day with this. And they're like, I don't know. Connecticut? I'm like,
Yeah,
"Just
on this
trust me."
show, we do not lose whiskey. I can tell you that. Yeah. Nothing goes to waste.
But yeah, and we're drinking courtesy of Alex from
Whoa, what did you just say? What was that about? What with whiskey?
Wow.
Cut him off.
You've
Cut
got to
him
be
off.
kidding me.
Pour one out for the homies.
Jesus. All right. Well, Alex, I hope you're not watching this one. We still have some of your Dalmore cigar malt that you so graciously gave us, and Jared is disrespecting you by pouring it all over the table. You're going to unfortunately have to navigate through there if you want a paper towel. Sorry, bud.
A little less.
Yeah, get off the pod. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably best if Jared just isn't here. Okay.
I
But
kind of
anyway.
miss him already, honestly.
Brown noser. They're not over there?
You have a straw? You could just,
Behind you? Huh? Sorry. Oh, yeah. See, I'm not lying. The studio is in shambles right now.
Well, our intern's gone, so he can't get it for us.
Yeah, our intern decided to take a holiday for the entire month of December. So
Yep.
that's like our sixth intern we're going to have to fire.
All right, my ignorance is showing. What's the significance?
That is Blue Run whiskey bourbon
Gotcha.
company. Yeah, they hooked us up with some of those glasses. Yeah, not a super mainstream brand, so I don't blame you for not noticing. I wouldn't have known either. But we got a bottle of that. Jared might have bought like 4 bottles or something.
His butterfly was flapping really hard.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
But then it stopped, after the 5th or 6th one.
Well, the good news about the glasses is, due to the shape, it only spilled a little bit.
That's true.
That's true. It looks like you didn't spill any. Are you okay, Jared?
Yeah, sorry, I had nothing but water all day. I'm a little...
He's got the shakes.
No, I just had a double espresso before I came here, so I'm like, whew,
I've had
So he has
nothing
the
but
shakes.
a
water
little
all day.
jittery.
Okay, so what are you smoking? I don't think we talked about what you're smoking, Jared.
The LFD Adelition Bowl.
Close enough.
Nice.
Andalusian?
I'm pretty sure that's how it is, yeah.
That's what I said, Andalusian. Bowl.
Andalusia.
Oh, I hate this cutter. Oh my god. What are you smoking, Mark?
I'm smoking a 50 caliber bullet.
What?
That's what it looks like. I'm smoking the My Deuce by Hooten Young.
I think that is the theme of this episode is guns and bullets. Jared's lighting a cigar with a revolver. Mark is smoking a 50 cal. And I have the Hooten Young 2020.
Can you pass me the cutter?
Sure.
Did you show these people that it actually rotates and has stuff in it and wild. I was playing with that for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's cool.
TikTok shop.
Oh.
Maybe we can make a video out of this and sell it.
It's sponsored.
What's great about TikTok shop is just you throw it in your showcase, and actually we have the product to show for once, so TikTok videos. There you go. I just got a great idea. We're gonna make TikTok videos out of that. We're gonna milk this thing. Jared's just gonna have like 20 videos using that revolver.
And they can't take it down either because we've got it from the TikTok shop.
You'd be surprised. They took these down.
Yeah, but that could be for other reasons.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. We know.
We don't have to get into that. But yeah.
I just don't know why they took this legitimate DuPont down from the TikTok shop. It doesn't make sense to me.
For all of $3.99. Yeah.
Yeah, these are like, this one I think is like 60.
No,
but it's
not bad. It pings,
check
right?
it out. Yeah, it's the real deal.
Well, the first payment out of $1,200, $60.
Oh, is that how it works?
I mean, I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's a pretty solid ping.
That's the thing, though. That's how you know it's not like authentic, though, because the ping is too strong.
Too good.
Yeah.
And it's got a weightiness to it, too, honestly.
Yeah, it
I'm
feels legit.
very surprised.
You probably can't hear the ping on the episode because when I go through here and edit it, it's just going to cut out all
Clip
the
that out,
sound.
yeah.
But just know it sounds really good. No, but DuPont is doing the perfect ping now in all their lighters, so they're all supposed to be identical.
So you have to buy a new one, right?
It's not that
I see
loud,
what they're
though.
doing.
Yeah.
Is that for a fact? Do you know that for a fact? Is that what yours sounds like or no?
I don't have one.
Ah, okay.
Honestly, I'm going to give them a free idea right now. You just, every year for your limited edition, you come out with a slightly different note ping, and then everyone has to buy the different notes. So you're welcome, DuPont. You can
Yours
cut me
is
in.
fake.
You can cut me in on that, yeah. No, then you do a little Christmas song or something, marketing.
There's an idea.
Genius.
We're going to take 15% of that and give Mike 5%. So
Wait. I guess it's only fair, right? Yeah, the platform.
the royalties, you know, they wouldn't know about it if it wasn't for the show.
As long as I get one of every release, it's all right,
Hey, that's great. That's all I can ask for too, especially if they're legitimate like this one. All right, let me light my cigar. So we're just going to be kind of bullshitting for this episode because we're winding down for Christmas. We already got everything scheduled by the time we're watching this. I got to stop talking about what today is because
It won't matter.
it won't matter. It really won't matter what today is. Today could be like March 3rd for all you know.
4th of July.
At this rate, we're gonna have like 3 guests on at a time. It's just gonna push everything back. But I guess it's great we're hanging out earlier because you're already talking about like some random topics and stuff. So we can just get right into it.
That's how the brain works. So you said you had some questions or ideas. I'm down to bat stuff back and forth. We were talking about possibly just doing predictions and then seeing what actually comes true by the time the episode airs.
We could do that too. So assuming this is going to be March, what position are we going to be in March? Let's start with cigars. We'll start
I wonder
there.
what position he was talking about, but
I thought we were talking about cigars to begin with, but okay.
Well, I'm saying we could talk about where we are going to be at as an industry, where we're going to be at personally, or what if we're still here, if we haven't been like nuked or something.
hopefully that
We're going to be
doesn't
here.
happen.
We'll have 10,000 subscribers, and the cigar industry will continue to grow even without us, but we help promote it.
That was a very good answer.
We'll still
Jared.
be here.
As long as we're still here.
The answer is yes.
Okay.
Next question.
Next question. Yeah, I'm with the still be here. I think that we all need to learn to get along, world peace and all that back in the day. But man, the cigar industry, I'm hoping some of the economic things come to fruition and people calm down a little bit and the normal average day Joe gets a little money back in their pocket, because you definitely see there's a slight struggle in people's ability to buy and purchase stuff. I know this time of year is a little bit tight anyways, because people are spending money on family and friends and travel and holidays. So I think we'll be through that wave, obviously, by the time this comes out, and that'll help out with the industry a little bit. But yeah. And then my big ask, I guess, would be to have a little more clarity around kind of some of the tariff situations, Nicaragua being one of the specific ones, because that's a big question mark that could change a lot of the industry. If 100% goes through, something like that could be devastating.
Do you think, in your opinion, that we will actually see the 100% tariffs on Nicaragua go through? There's no right or wrong answer, honestly.
I hope not. I'll just speak it into existence. Like for me, I'm going to say no, just because that's what I want to see. I'm hoping it's a little bit more of the getting people to the table kind of strategy versus necessarily pulling that trigger. But you never know. That's the other side, is you never know.
Yeah.
So,
it's more of just a threat, or trying to get Nicaragua to
negotiate
kind of fall in
or
line. Yeah, exactly. I that's what my opinion is on it. I think that it's not going to actually go through, especially with everything that's kind of going on with Venezuela and that area. It's like
There's a little more distractions now.
yeah. Well, I think that the United States is going to get done what they want to get done. I don't think that we're going to have to reach that point where we have 100% tariffs on Nicaragua. But we'll see what happens. What do you think, Mark?
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think if you really wanted it to happen, it would have happened by now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, he doesn't really wait.
That's
You know
true
what I'm
too.
saying?
Yeah, that's true too. The
So-
ones that have gone into effect went into effect in like 48 hours or whatever. It was pretty immediate. So
Yeah. So usually, like, if you want something to go through, it's gonna go through, and this one hasn't. So
Well, I just think there's bigger fish to fry too. If we're talking about like, let's be the most beneficial scenario, it's bringing money back into the American economy. Is this really the place that's going to make a big difference if we're taxing that increase?
Right.
So there's so many bigger markets where we could actually have an impact that would benefit. But
Yeah. And I don't think that the tariff has really anything to do with like the economics of it per se. It's more of, like we said, it's kind of just a threat to Nicaragua.
agreed.
So as long as they get what they want, there's no reason to actually put the tariff in. It's not like, Nicaragua is ripping us off on all this different stuff. Like, so yeah, I mean, I don't think that it's going to be an issue.
What about you?
I'm pretty much in agreement on
Yeah.
that. I think that it's mainly being used as a tool for the United States to get what they want. I don't think it's actually going to go through. I think that part of it does have to do with what is happening in Venezuela. And I think that that issue itself will be resolved rather quickly. Hopefully it's not still going on by the time you're watching this, but
Yeah.
I think that they'll be able to get in and get what they want, whether it's the gold or the oil or world peace. I think that issue will be
Democracy.
solved.
It's always democracy.
It's all about democracy. I think that issue will be solved, and there really will be no reason for 100% tariffs in
So
Nicaragua.
I want everyone to witness what just happened there with Mr. Producer. He asked everyone a question. We have a consensus. Then he gets asked the same question. He simply agrees with everybody else.
I want to point out,
You're
actually,
going first next time.
no problem. But I do want to point out that after he answered, I answered, and then Mark answered, and then I just answered again. So
It was kind of my
Yeah.
fault for re-asking
No, it was
his
good.
opinion. Yeah. So I just want to feel like, you're participating even though you already did.
thank
But,
you so
yeah.
much.
I just feel like all the giants in the cigar industry, like Davidoff, Fuente, Padron, need to come together and start lobbying a lot more.
That is true.
They need to make like a little lobby. You know what I mean?
I feel like that'd be a
And
pretty
break up
big
the tobacco
lobby.
tax. Cigarettes only get taxed.
That's what I'm saying. So they need to come together, put all their billions of dollars together, and just start giving it to these politicians.
Is that what you think?
100%.
Do you think we could be doing more as the Cigar Guys?
I think we're doing as much as we can.
I think it's hard because we don't get affected by the tobacco tax, like some place like California, New York. So we don't really we don't feel the pain. So we don't have skin in the game. So voicing our opinions is the best thing we can possibly do. We're going to pay money to lobby in another state to help other people out.
That's the right thing to do.
Well, and then, newly in the instance of California, New York and California were the same just 3 months ago or whatever in regards to that just being an increased price essentially because of the tax. But now what Cali's doing with the list and everything,
The
that's
SKUs.
that's a whole different sketchy, which I guess that kind of got challenged and not recalled, but sort of paused or whatever. So I'm hoping
Yeah.
that trends in the right direction. Cause that's, again, it's like, dude, what are we doing? Like if you're an adult, like, are we saying you're an adult and you can make your own decisions, then let people make their own decisions? Why do we keep having to kind of, police what people are said they're able to do? I don't know.
Well, that and too, like the generational bans that they're doing.
I hate
I think
that.
Hawaii, Massachusetts, and I think California wants to do it too. So if you're born after a certain year, basically when you turn 18, you cannot buy any tobacco products.
Yeah. I think New Zealand was the first place I read about that years ago. And I was like,
Yeah.
what? Like,
Which is ironic, right? Because if California wants to, add the SKUs and add the taxes, if you have a generational ban, you just lost all the money that you were asking for anyways.
Yeah. And then by then too, cigars will be like $40 average. So, I mean, they're not going to be able to afford them anyway.
I think it's the stepping stone approach, right? You're slowly reducing your market until it's basically zero. So when you make that final step, it doesn't hurt. Boiling the frog kind of thing versus like if you jumped right to that, more people would be up in arms because they'd be like, oh man, I feel this. Right now, it's like if you keep making it more difficult, you're going to pay less money, you're going to smoke less. And then by the time you get to that point, it's just like, meh.
Yeah. I wonder if you live in California, if you could order like have a P.O. box in like a different state. So you could order it to that P.O. box and have it automatically forward to your actual mail. So you just avoid those taxes.
I mean, you definitely could. I know, like people will order from Canada, but send it to like a Michigan PO box.
Yeah.
and then either they'll pick it up or have someone else pick it up. I'm sure you could have it forwarded
Yeah, for sure.
like
you can.
automatically and just not have an issue.
Or just like come to a free state and buy a bunch of cigars and then fly home.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Either way, it's going to cost you regardless, I guess.
That's true. I guess, yeah, you're buying a plane ticket at that point. But, throw on a vacation or something and blame it on that,
Go to like one of those big events like Barn Smoker and just stock up and then come back. Just buy enough cigars for like the whole year.
100%. Yeah, I don't know what the statutes of limitations are, but I may or may not have had a friend that lived in California at one time that would travel out of state and load up. So, yeah.
Got to do it. I mean, for us, that'd be like $10,000 worth of cigars, but
Oh yeah. It was always a couple of grand at a time, but again, you're stretching that. I mean, you're paying twice as much for a stick. That easily justifies its own purchase pretty quickly.
Exactly. It negates spending the money in your own state. But yeah, California, New York. Jeez, I mean, like you get a curly head in New York, it's like $10 for a $4 stick.
Oh,
Yeah.
Speaking from experience, right?
No, actually, we got them for like, I think it was like $5 a piece.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, but this was back when they were $3 a stick.
back in the day.
I don't believe those numbers at all. I definitely think you paid double.
No, we paid $5 a stick.
All right. if you
But
say so.
this was also back when they were $3 a stick, so that's almost double.
Hmm.
All right, we'll allow it.
Approved.
I wasn't there, so I guess I can't say anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, I have a list of bullshit topics, starting with a conglomerate propaganda that I'm not falling for.
Okay, hit me.
Well, is there, first of all, I'm going to ask the table. I know I'm not going to go first this time. Is there any propaganda going around that you think is complete bullshit and that you're not falling for?
Not one that won't get us banned on YouTube.
That means we can't say anything.
Yeah, I'm like, mine would obviously be the biggest, but again, I don't.
No, I'm just joking. You say
Oh,
whatever.
okay. Like, it's your show, guys. I don't know. I'll go as deep as you want to go. For me, the Epstein stuff would be top of my list. That, and then I think maybe even less political, more everyday would be like inflation numbers, right? Like, we're told job market inflation numbers. So the true economic numbers, I think, is something that we're being told that I don't believe. You can just look around and feel it versus, 2% is jokeable. But,
Yeah.
I don't know when the last time you bought eggs or milk was, but I guarantee it's not 2% more expensive than it was 3 years ago.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the inflation is actually inflated itself, like meaning that
They're reporting deflated numbers. So
Oh, okay,
inflation
okay.
instead of 2% is like 12, 15, 20. you know.
Gotcha.
And depending on the time frame, right? Maybe not 2025, but let's say the last 5 years is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, my grocery spending probably has gone up like 60% from like 2 years ago.
yeah, easy.
turn that and face it more towards you. There you go. Yeah.
This way?
Yeah, just to make sure.
Beautiful.
I say
I mean-
easy one.
I feel like even the past year, like when I go to Sam's Club, I usually spend like $150, and lately it's been like 200, and like same amount of stuff. Like
Or
I'm not-
less. That's the big
Yeah.
thing for me. Is like, man, I'm coming home with less, and I'm like, I just paid like $100 for 3 things. Like that used to be a joke about Whole Foods or whatever. Now I'm like, it's actually real.
Yeah, man.
Like-
Yeah. I went to Publix. I got like 4 things. It was like $60.
All right, low key. This is an unpopular opinion. Publix is more expensive than Whole Foods.
It is.
It
I
is
think
now,
so,
though.
too.
Yeah.
Minus
It's because
BOGOs.
Amazon bought Whole Foods.
Well, and then if you get the Amazon card, you get another like 3 or 5% or whatever for shopping there. So if you do things right, you actually you can get a lot of money off at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
To your point, though, one of the best things Publix does is the BOGO because
Right.
they do a lot of BOGO.
Outside of BOGOs, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because dude, have you seen the new ones? This tripped me. I actually got mad at it. So I went in the other day and I grabbed a pub sub because obviously pub subs. And they had chips on sale and it was a BOGO, but it was like one of their new weird ones where it's like if you buy 2, you get like 3 free. So I was like,
Really?
dude, I want 1 bag of salt and vinegar chips. And I came home with like 6 bags. And I'm like, I'm not going to buy it because it's a great deal. But I'm like, I don't need 6 bags of chips at home. Like,
Yeah.
Did you bring it here?
no, sorry. I would have. Again, next time I'm bringing gifts, I promise. I'll make up for this time.
At least for that, it's like, okay, you get a few bags of chips. At least you can like have one now and then, okay, I want some for lunch like in a couple days. Like, but yeah, sometimes it's like, for example, like if I go by myself, let's say they were doing like BOGO on subs or something. It's like, do I really need 2 subs? Like,
Yes.
maybe. 'Cause for
Depends
me,
on what time of day. If it's
does.
lunch, you could do dinner, but then if it's dinner, it's gonna get
right. For
Yeah.
me, like if I get a chicken tender sub, I'll eat half and save the next one for lunch.
Yeah.
Just because like it's so much food anyway. And if I have a side with it, like I guess you're saving money. You get 2 meals out of one. So if you give me 2 subs, I'm like, okay, do I really want to eat this for 4 days? Like, is it still going to be good?
4 days.
Yeah, half every day. I know you eat like 3 courses in one day, so.
Yeah.
Or one sitting, I should say.
So I'd say every single time there's like nothing interesting in the news, things die down. Next thing you know, an asteroid appears, 3-Eye Atlas, aliens appear, and people freak out about nothing.
So you're saying that 3-Eye Atlas is not real?
No, I think it's hilarious.
Wait, to clarify though, you're saying it's real, but it's not a spaceship. Or do you actually think there was nothing flying through the solar system at all?
I don't think it's aliens.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like that's out of the
I
question.
want to clarify how fake you think it is.
No. First they said it was like an asteroid.
Right.
It's going to be here. They keep pushing the months off. I'm like, I'm still here.
It was supposed to be November.
That's because it changed trajectory.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the aliens,
always
changed the
does.
spaceship. They're like
Swerving.
It always does change trajectory last minute.
Yeah, then Netflix does a documentary on this kind of stuff. Everyone gets locked in to the wrong things.
Do you really feel like a lot of people were talking about that this round, though? I feel like the one 3 or 4 years ago, whatever the cigar, Niblu or whatever the cigar-shaped one was, I feel like it was the one that people really got in pop culture. This one, I feel like people were just like...
I think people are burnt out.
Yeah.
I think you're right. They're burnt out. Like, oh my god.
The news talked about it a lot. But
This one's honestly a lot weirder than like any other comment we've ever seen. It's doing like a lot of weird things.
I just think they're running out of shit to...
Have you ever thought that
scare
maybe
people.
freak you out about?
Maybe you're falling for the propaganda?
No, because I think people who
Maybe
believe
they're-
it fell for the propaganda.
Maybe they're downplaying it so much and they're knocking these things down for people like you to not believe it.
You mean knocking out of the sky?
Because they're telling you not to look at the weird anomalies around it and that it's just a natural thing and you're believing it.
What?
Like this comment has like a lot of anomalies, right?
Oh, so it's a comment.
Maybe.
Yeah, but once again...
if you fall for the propaganda.
Yeah, but you're believing the news, so you're falling for the propaganda.
No, the news is saying it's not a.
First an asteroid, now it's a spaceship.
No, the news has never said it was a
Now
spaceship.
Mark is telling me that...
I'm just, you might be falling for it.
I haven't seen it from my own eyes, so I don't think it exists at all.
See, that's what I was trying to clarify, because I was like, oh, how far down do you think it's like...
I don't think it exists at all.
Oh, I believe that too, but I'm saying...
So what do you believe?
When they first came out, they were like, hey,
Nothing.
it's a comet. And they're like, okay, cool. A month later, they're like, oh my God, it's a spaceship. It's like, what, you didn't zoom in all the way? It's like, what are you talking about?
Oh, man.
The story keeps changing when they run out things to talk about. That's what I'm trying to
But to your point, no one outside of like a few of the like news outlets has mentioned it. Like
Right.
if you talk to someone on the streets, they're like, whatever. And 2, I think part of that is we had the whole alien narrative
Fatigue.
for a while where it's like the government was saying, hey, aliens are real. And by that point, everyone's still like, oh, okay, well, I got to pay rent tomorrow. So I
Right.
really could give a shit like if it's
Yeah.
real or not. And also like, do we really believe what they're saying at all? Like, not really. I don't think aliens are
I
real.
still got to go to work tomorrow.
Exactly. Most people are saying if they are real, like, why are they not here? It just put me out of my misery at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had something more profound to say.
I just think you guys are falling for the propaganda,
That doesn't make any sense.
So Mark thinks the propaganda is that it's not real.
It's a psyop.
It's like reverse psychology.
Exactly.
Uno reverse.
This guy gets it. It's just like flat earth, right? It's put out there to make people believe it, so it makes conspiracies look crazy.
But according to you, flat Earth would be the truth, and the propaganda would actually be that the Earth is round.
That's the logic I'm folling right now.
Right.
Yeah.
See? Yeah. So it's not just me.
Thank you for confirming, Mark.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just
All right,
trying to
so-
gaslight you guys.
We're just, yeah. Oh my God.
I'm just trying to gaslight you guys.
I hate that term so much.
Gaslight.
Yeah.
That's why rage bait is now the new thing. It's basically the same thing, but instead of trying to manipulate someone for your gain, you're just trying to straight up manipulate them to rage. It's just total destruction. But the Epstein thing, though, yeah, because we were talking about that earlier too. It's like, okay, this whole thing is real. Like, this happened, and then it turned into this is a hoax, and now it's real. And now the Democrats are like releasing new images, which turned out to not be new images. Like, we're talking about it again.
But
So-
it's like, again, I'm apolitical. Like I'm 99% versus 1%, right? Politicians. I think there's a clear side right now that is better, but I'm for the people, right? So we've had 2 presidencies now of each color, one red, one blue, that have had this information and nothing's happened. But then now they're both trying to weaponize it against each other. So it's like, I mean, at what point do you as the people realize like, all right, we're clearly getting played, like we're the ones being left out in the dark, right? So it's got to be both sides. So shouldn't we kind of be pissed about that? Even if it's not sitting presidents or whatever, but at least clearly there's politicians involved. We should figure that shit out.
Yeah, I just think it probably implicates too many politicians, so they know if they release the actual files, our government probably collapse from the amount of people that are on it.
Ironically, when the government was shut down for 40 days.
Yeah, nothing happened.
Yeah, right. But I think when he went there, he initially wanted to release it, and then they read the files and they're like, "Oh wow, this will probably destroy like 75% of our government." Like, we can't release this.
Mark's on there? Oh, man. Oh,
I like that guy.
he's my friend.
You know what I mean, though?
Could be a whole bunch of stuff. I just love Rogan has the best line where he's like, you got a lady that's arrested for sex trafficking, ... to who? Right? So then it's like, so why, like, if we're going to go down that path of logic, why is she even in jail? Let her go.
Exactly.
Like, if there's nobody that's going to be held responsible and you're just in there for something that nobody, what are we
Right. Like, there was sex trafficking going on, but there were no clients.
Yeah.
And there's no victims either. So it's like, wait a minute.
Well, they all got suicided, so.
Right. Yeah. So it's all bullshit. Also, not my words. Matt Booth himself said that Rocky Patel is on the list. So just throwing that out there.
Wow.
Matt,
Did he say that?
This is real footage. You can go look it up on a Cigar Hustlers podcast. He said it, not me, but
You're lying.
Honestly,
Matt Booth himself said it.
I didn't realize
he's
he was
read the
well
files.
connected. Yeah.
Matt Booth somehow has information that we don't have.
I believe that for sure.
Oh man, nice haircut by the way. But okay, yeah. So what else? Yeah, we won't talk too much about Rocky Patel. Seed oils, big craze right now. People are actually actively condemning seed oils.
As they should.
Partially because of the new administration. I think partially because in coessence, it's been a trend like on social media where people are saying like, oh, okay, seed oils are really bad for you. What are the alternatives? So what do you think about that?
Oh, yeah. Health space stuff, I've been down that rabbit hole for 20 plus years. So yeah, that's information that's not new to me personally, just because I've taken that. I think, you own 2 things in this life, and it's your health and your relationships. Everything else is fucking bullshit anyways. So I take that very seriously, but I mean, you can only do what you can do, right? When everything is baked in and stuff, you also can't lose your mind. You still got to live. So don't let it stress you out too much. Just control your environment as much as you can. But as far as it not being something good for you, 1,000%, man, the more adulterated or processed or, man-made a substance is, the worse it is for your body. So for me, it's super simple. Just eat a whole foods diet. I don't mean the store. I just mean like single ingredient items that you prepare yourself, or try and find a restaurant that does a good job of preparing high quality food.
So back in the day, we'd cook with like lard and fat.
100%.
So when did we say, you know what? Let's make oil from seeds.
Well,
and cook with that.
have you seen what it is? It's a rapeseed. So also the marketing would be terrible if it was called rapeseed oil. But it's it's like if you've ever seen a chia seed, it's very similar. Super tiny little seeds that, I mean, if you're getting oil out of something, avocado oil makes sense, right? If you take a fresh avocado and you squeeze it in your hand, you're gonna get oil out of it. So okay, I can kind of see olive oil, right? You take a natural olive and you squeeze it, you get a little bit of oil. Makes sense. Rapeseed, nothing's coming out of that. So then you look into how it's made and you're like, oh, it's literally just like industrial solvents. Like, okay, that's probably not great for me. And then shelf stability is a big thing. So that was probably the excuse that they used, is like, okay, now we can put something on the shelf and ship it across the country or the world, and it's not going to go bad. When in reality, we should be doing hyper local food that is, you want your food to spoil.
It's like when you see these videos online of people that are like, oh, here's my McDonald's meal.
From 70 years ago.
It has like no mold on it.
I think too, like just with almost anything food wise that we've seen over the last few decades, it's like convenience is one thing, affordability is one thing. If they can make something for cheap that has a long shelf life, that's convenient, then to a consumer base that this is new to and they don't really know anything, it's like, oh, okay, they have this new thing that's super convenient, it's cheap, has a long shelf life, like sounds good to me. And it's not until decades later we actually see the repercussions of it. Like, cigarettes is an example. Everything they put in cigarettes, vape is like the new one right now, where it's like people still don't. We have over 10 years of studies on vapes at this point. People still don't realize that it's literally killing you.
Yeah. I think a new study came out saying they're worse than cigarettes.
Oh,
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I think Tito's, though, they were marketed as like better for you for a long time, weren't they?
The vodka?
Well,
No,
seed oils.
Oh, seed
They
oils.
were, like, when they
Sorry, I
first
thought you
came
said
out.
Tito's. I
That's
was like,
what I heard that too.
to be fair, I trust Tito's over seed oils at this point.
Agreed. 100%.
I think for a while it's supposed to be like the healthier option.
Yeah, I mean, too, I feel like that could be easier to fall for because it's like, oh, well, it's made from seeds. Like,
Propaganda.
seeds are good.
Well,
But
just-
like, to your point,
Marketing.
how are you getting oil out of the tiniest seed on planet Earth?
Yeah,
Like,
just look at it. I mean, like, use your brain, right? You don't have to be a chemical scientist or whatever to just think, like, how the frick? Like, I don't, anyways. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Have you, hot take then, sidestepping, same but different, have you had Steak and Shake since they started using frying the fries in lard versus.
It's amazing.
It is good. I didn't have them side by side, so I can't, like, oh, it was so different. But
It's hard to have it side by side. It'd be like weeks there.
I know. I'm trying to be as objective as
Yeah,
possible.
but as we were just saying, like McDonald's is probably still going to be okay by the time you eat it 3 weeks later. No, but I don't think I have gone to Steak and Shake since they've started using tallow
not
for their
bad.
fries.
Not bad.
Yeah. I mean, I cook with tallow at home, so
Or even peanut oil. I mean, Five Guys has been using peanut oil forever. There's ways around. Again, peanuts. Another thing. If you look at, they're very oily, right? Makes sense. I don't know if it's still the great for you when you're heating it to those temperatures. That's something else you have to pay attention to, is all the oxidation and stuff that happens when you're heating oils. But
right.
I think it's better than that. I don't know. But I'm no scientist.
I guess the easiest thing is like going back to the most natural state of how like humans did it hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, they were able to cook back then. How did they do it?
Right.
And then what is different now? Like, what are all the artificial man-made things that we've done since then?
Well, that was one of the stats that I read when I was first learning about like diet, nutrition stuff, was like, it just blew my mind. I mean, you sit and you think about it for a second, but the last 100 years, food has changed more than the entire existence of humanity. And however long you think that is, whether it's 20 million years or 6,000 years, whatever, that still should blow your mind. Like, oh, I wonder why things are jacked up. I wonder why cancer is so high, or, digestion problems, or all these things are happening. It's like, well, look, what you're ingesting is foreign compared to, what your biology is able to kind of.
So is it 20 million years? That's exactly.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't have those answers. It's I believe in what I believe, but I don't. You don't know until you die. So that's.
Yeah.
So what do you believe? Is it 20 million?
I think it is an alien spaceship. No, I honestly don't. That I don't. But I also don't know. Would aliens be aliens, or would they be like the Tucker Carlson theory of being like angels and demons?
I believe more. I believe that more.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, are they flying out there like looking down and then like look at the news and fly away? Like the phone call. We need a distraction again. Please fly back. It's like it's ridiculous.
Personally, I think that if aliens are real, they would be angels and demons and not of this dimension. It's a spiritual thing, not like the Green Men or
Right.
whatever Atlas 39's housing.
What if it's like the super long tail us in the future coming back kind of thing? So it's not aliens per se, it's us, future us.
So I
Interstellar?
like that science fiction theory.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so great,
Fold
but
in
I don't
time.
believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Great movie.
But it's a great theory.
My favorite. Oh my God, the soundtrack to that movie is incredible. Hans Zimmer, man.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic movie. Still one of my favorite movies.
It's mind blowing. Man, the more you watch it, it's just like Nolan really knocked it out of the park with that one.
That's the thing for me is like I love like all the science fiction like theories and like space theories and stuff like that. Like Interstellar, I love that. But it's all bullshit. Like I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't.
Who knows? I could be wrong.
Yeah. Don't know until you know.
No. Until one day like the sand is like leaving binary on the floor. I'm like I don't know.
Have you seen that the DMT thing?
Oh, the lasers?
Yeah.
I was going to bring that up too. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Go for it. Yeah.
So
Explain
like,
it.
like people have taken DMT and shined out like a red laser on something, and they all say they see code.
Yeah, I saw that.
And like you take like people that haven't talked to each other, and they all say the same thing.
So DMT in general, like I think even Joe Rogan was talking about this at probably multiple times, where people will take DMT and they'll see the same exact things, or like they'll join these meetings with interdimensional beings.
Machine elves. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they all see the same thing. And then
Yeah.
I saw that one more recently where they're actually seeing code in like the walls and stuff like that.
So no, we didn't have Jared do it so he could tell us what the code means.
Oh, fair enough, because he's a software engineer.
Jared's reading it like, I could write this.
This is my program. What? I am God.
He's like, wait a minute.
So it's more like the Matrix kind of code?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't like ones and zeros. Apparently, it was like symbols, like almost, kanji and stuff like that code. But it looked like it was static. So it wasn't like, but if you like move the laser, it would be like writing on the wall or whatever. So like the wall was made of code or whatever. I don't know. I haven't done it, so I can't.
Makes sense to me.
I guess.
So does that lead into like simulation theory?
Exactly right. I was waiting for that.
Yep. So what do you think about that?
If we were in a simulation, I believe it'd have to be a 2-layer simulation, because if someone figured out how to get out, they need to be crushed so badly. If they got out of the current simulation into the next one, they'd be like, well, you just moved to a different area. You were displaced. Something changed. You woke up from a dream, and you'd forget all about it again.
But do you think, and so I can better understand your viewpoint, do you think the simulation is like a Matrix thing where you're inside of a computer, but you have a physical body? So getting out into the physical body, or the simulation in that we're a Sims character in a PC, and then like...
Yeah. Well, I honestly don't believe it, but the like the third movie of the Matrix series, where he meets like the god of the Matrix, where he explains to him like, oh, you're the 5th one or 6th one. And he's like, what are you talking about? And it's like, we've done this over and over and over again. So I think there's layers to that theory.
But I feel like what the difference between like the Matrix and like everyone's theory is like the simulation theory is like we're just code. Like the Matrix is like we're
physical
into. Yeah, you still have a body.
Plus, if you did get out, they'd just kill you. Then you wouldn't be able to tell anybody anyways.
But like if you're pure code, you can't get out.
No, I'm saying like the Matrix version.
Yeah, the machines, like, dude, they had the little harvester plucker guys or whatever. You're telling me if they see some guy waking up, they're not just going to flush him or what? Like, come on, man. You just showed it to me.
It happened to Neo. He still survived.
Because of Morpheus. No.
My answer is that, like, so I'm a Christian. I believe in God and all this. So technically, my belief is really we are in a simulation, and that when we die, we go to heaven, which is like the real world.
Like a free will simulation.
I guess so, yeah. So technically, like, is a sidestep from simulation theory. But if you want to think about it, really, it's like, yeah, we kind of are in a simulation. And then the belief of like most Christians is after you die, you go to heaven or the other place. But so in a way, we are in a simulation. It's just not Matrix. Or
but see, I would push back against that too. Same Christian as well, right? But I would feel like we aren't in a simulation because it is reality. So there's nothing being simulated.
He's an analogy.
Right, yeah. So, no, and that's what I'm trying to say.
I agree.
That is what I'm trying to say, yeah. So, like, this is our reality, and then we will move on to a different reality, so to say.
But then that, to me, is where, like, the parallel, not universes, but, like, string theory kind of would make sense, because then you're shifting from one plane to another, sort of, right? But I don't think there's, like, 10 of them. I don't know. That's where my brain breaks, because then I'm like, well, how do we know there's not just infinity if there's 10? Like, why is there 10, not a million? Like, I don't... What?
Right. I feel like the confusion that most people have, or like why there's really no clear answer, is because you're mixing science with the spiritual realm. So it's like you're almost tapping into the spiritual realm, what you think is like science. So it's like, okay, there's other dimensions, and then the theories can go on forever and ever. But it's like, okay, so what you're really observing is maybe a rift between like the spiritual realm and our physical realm. But there's no way to like clearly get an answer from it, because I don't think we can fully access that realm until we actually die.
That was going to be my follow-up question is, do you think man is even capable of fully understanding all things? Like, sure, we can go down very far in understanding a lot of different things, but do you really think like things like that, right? Certain things, do you think we'll ever be able to fully comprehend or understand as a species?
I think that there's limits to what we can achieve. I think that the greatest analogy in the Bible is the Tower of Babel.
Right.
Where it's like we built a tower to try and reach heaven, which realistically they couldn't do. But that is a great story or analogy to kind of where we're at this point, where it's like we can do anything and we can reach, the ends of the universe or the new dimensions or whatever. But in all reality, it's like we can't.
Well, to me, that's AI. AI is the new Tower of Babel, right? Because we're trying to create a god, which is building a tower to heaven, in my opinion, an interpretation of that. So we're trying to bring heaven down, creating, a god species, an AI. And then what that's going to do is probably going to be splitting of nations again at some point. You know,
Yeah.
That's
I had AI give me attitude the other day. I'm serious.
was it Grok?
was it in spicy mode or whatever you guys called it earlier?
No, it's ChatGPT. I was doing a math problem and it was wrong. So I said, hey, like, you got it wrong. And then he did it again. And I was like, okay, that's still wrong. And it was like, okay, Mark, all capital letters. He's like, it's like, let's start from the beginning again. I was like, whoa. All
Did it
right.
eventually get it right?
No.
So how do we know that?
You're not wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
The test, I don't know.
Are you buying the propaganda right now? Is that what we're? Is that what
No,
we're
no, no. Like, it was
it was 1 + 1, bro. Like,
I started college again, and it was on a quiz, so it was like unlimited times you could try it. So I got it wrong every single time. So
Maybe your professor's wrong or the key is wrong.
no, I just went into the textbook and I did it myself, and I found the right answer.
AI promotes laziness? Question mark
100%.
for some
100%,
people.
yeah, 100% for everybody, really.
Well, yeah, I think that you can use it the right way to cut down productivity, but naturally, for most people, it will lead to just laziness in general.
Well, that's what tools do for humans. Everything we
Fair
do
enough.
is the path of least resistance
Yeah.
as a species. So, I mean, it's, sure, a hammer lets you build a house, but without a hammer, you'd have to do it by hand. So, like, are you lazy for using a hammer?
And I think there's a difference between like being lazy and being more productive
Right.
or more efficient. Because yeah, like for example, if we didn't have a hammer, like how would we be able to put a nail in the wall, like using your fist or something like?
Yeah.
But if you use the tools, your productivity stays exactly the same. Then you're just lazy.
Okay, there you go. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Or for distraction. That's where my head went is like, the 99% are going to use AI for distraction, silly videos, whatever. And the entertainment's not a problem. But there's going to be the 1% that capitalize, and now that one person becomes 10 because they're able to leverage it. And here's this AI assistant to do this and this and this and this, and I can stand back and manage those. So I think to your point, yeah, but I feel like it wouldn't even be ineffective use. I think it's just not misuse, but like entertainment use versus productivity
Like
use.
brain rot.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw this thing. It was like back in the day, kids that cheated so hard that they actually learned from cheating. And then now it's like, it makes it so easy that you don't even learn from it. You know what I mean?
But would you even recommend, like, if you have a kid today, would you even recommend school in the broader sense? Like for me,
Like college or
I would it'd be like a Montessori thing, right? Like, hey, you get to learn how to play and the things you're passionate about and enjoy doing in your strengths and play to those and then double down on that education versus like, you're going to sit at a desk for 12 years or whatever, first through 12th grade before not even talking about college. I just mean standard education. Cause I mean, you extrapolate out 12 to 15 years from now, like what are they going to do? You don't need to memorize anything anymore. Facts don't dates don't matter. Everything's look upable. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I still crack up. Like when I was in school, we didn't have cell phones. So the teacher would always be like, why do we have to learn multiplication? You're not going to walk around with a calculator in your pocket. Really? Because like literally 100% of the planet now has a calculator in their pocket. So it's
Yeah.
like, we don't know what that technology is going to change. So it's interesting it's exciting and scary, right? It's never the tool I'm never afraid of technology. The tool is always cool.
yeah. In fact, the calculator is built into my phone.
I think we reached a point where technology is making us dumber. You know what I mean? For a while, technology was making us smarter. We still have to learn stuff. But now it's almost like too easy. So now it's making us, not think as hard.
Like everyone who owns an iPhone.
So now I feel like our brains aren't like developing as they should.
I agree with what you're saying because I think the first step of that was like Web 1.0, right? Like you didn't have to memorize facts. So to your point, we became the idea of like less intelligent because we didn't have things memorized like we used to, even phone numbers, right? Again, being a kid, like you would know your top 5 friends' phone numbers and you'd run over the phone and you'd call them. I can't even tell you my phone number half the time now. Everything's in your phone book. But I think 2.0 is, to your point, we're going to lose the ability to think because people are outsourcing thinking to things like ChatGPT. Before it was just memorization, so we could look up a fact. Yeah. Now I think it's the insidious part, I think, is going to be thinking. And then if you let something else think for you, I mean, that's not great because that can lead you. It's easy to lead a path of people, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's not you anymore, too,
What's scary is over the next generations, when everyone's using AI all the time, the person who controls the AI can start feeding it the wrong history, wrong information, and they rewrite history.
Correct.
Well,
way
just
faster
like,
than before.
Just like Google, right?
Yeah, with the search
like
stuff.
Google suppresses a lot of stuff that you can't just like search up. That's why a lot of people use DuckDuckGo or whatever the other options are.
Brave browser is decent, but I haven't used Google in like 5 years. I mean, it's just
I mean, but to answer your question about school, I think the school system is a joke right now. So to send my kid to school outside of like the basics, like, math, reading, writing, like there's really not much after a certain point where I'm like, is it even worth going to school? I do believe, like, obviously you should learn to read, you should learn to
100%.
write,
Right.
That stuff. But to your point, if you go in, let's say you want to go into a specific field, double down on that, learn the skill set outside of your basics. That's probably the most beneficial to most people. Like trades, for example, I think are coming back more.
I hope.
That's what I think. Because too, with AI, it's like, okay, all these jobs might actually end up going away because the workload is now less. You can have AI do a bunch of stuff. So if we're out of jobs, just because no one's going to want to hire you to do menial tasks, what do you do now? Like, I don't think we're going to get to the position where artificial intelligence can, like, fix appliances all by itself. Like, you still need someone to go in and fix your dryer or whatever, your fridge, whatever.
The long tail on that is much longer.
Right.
So, like, it's going to be the thing that freaks me out that I haven't heard really discuss this much is because everyone talks about like new technologies end up creating more jobs than they take away, like the printing press or Henry Ford and the, assembly line and all that kind of stuff, or machinery, right? Sure. But every technology until now has always been bottom up. So every technology has always displaced lower to upper class, primarily lower middle class, doesn't even really touch upper class. This is the first technology that's disrupting from top down, and nobody's talking about that. Like your blue collar guys, your hardworking middle, lower and middle class families and men and women are going to go do whatever they can to provide for their family. If they get displaced in XYZ job, they're going to go find ABC job. They're going to make it happen because they got to feed their family. A lawyer is not going to go back to school for 8 years. Like, and they're the ones that are going to be first. I mean, all these people that, you're paying $1 million for education. I mean, the medical industry, nurses, I think are going to be safe for a long time because they're the doers. But
Right.
like some of the specialists, like x-ray techs and stuff like that. And we need all of these people. I'm not discounting anybody, but the technology is growing at such an exponential rate that if I'm a hospital, which is a business, I'm going to replace you because I could pay Google $10,000 a year for their AI software and not a staff of, $5 million x-ray techs. So boom, gone. What are
So
you gonna
from
do?
like the aspect of a skill set or knowledge base, that's where AI can kind of come into and replace. Because like you said, if you can pay an AI to be a specialist in like x-rays, for example, and give you all the answers, you don't need an actual human specialist to do it anyway. But to your point, you need the nurses and stuff to kind of facilitate what happens.
But I don't think people understand like what that top down looks like because that's never happened. Like if we get rid of what are all the lawyers and doctors?
Lawyers are a good example.
The
actually,
the high class individuals that have never even had to think about being displaced because I'm top level of society. I'm always going to have a thing. They're not going to go work at Publix and bag your groceries. So like that to me is where I don't think people.
And then
understand.
for these menial tasks that have nothing to do with a computer, you'd have like the Tesla robot Optimus come out. They can do like mopping, walking around, cleaning.
The janitor scenario.
Yeah, in theory, it's only $30,000. So if it works really well, you just replace an entire person,
And that's now.
and
now
it self charges itself. So it's nonstop.
No sick days, none of that. That's the other thing people don't realize is like when you lose a certain portion of the labor force, our biggest negotiator against tyranny, governments, all of that kind of stuff is our inability to cease work. Like as a people, the 99% versus the 1%, our biggest tool is not guns. Our biggest tool is to cease work, stop the environment, like stop the economic environment and everything. Yeah. When that goes away, that again, I'm never afraid of the tool. I'm afraid of, humans' ability to wield it. That to me freaks me out so much because then it's like, dude, we don't have like, if you're building the pyramids and they're whipping your back and you go, we're not building the pyramids anymore. They got to do something. They got to cave eventually. All right, we'll give you more bread.
But it's already happening. Like if you go to I lived in California for 6 years. Even years ago, like 5+ years ago, I lived there. You can see the same thing in Miami, where you have like these little robots that just deliver food.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember when they started rolling those out in the Bay Area, the little Hoover things that take your Uber Eats to your office or whatever.
Yeah.
So are you saying that the Starbucks workers going on strike are the reason why the government's going to collapse?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
That was a joke.
Okay, I was like, I don't. Maybe.
Did I say that?
Like third order level of thinking, maybe.
Like the 5th strike they've done this year.
They'll just close the stores where they're trying to unionize.
It's so stupid. I think that's a dumb example of like strike/unionizing is like the Starbucks workers. I'm like, bro, listen. Like, no offense, you're a barista. they will replace you tomorrow. Like, it's no problem.
Yeah.
And they're like, we want, a living wage, whatever they define that as. I saw a video of one of the Starbucks strikes, and the reporter, which was clearly a man but looked like a woman. She was like, "Hey, what to you is a living wage?" And the person never answered the question. They're like, "We just want, these rights and this amount of money." Da, da, da. I'm like, okay, but
Well, and again, that's marketing, because you think if I just make more, and they're not wrong in their line of thinking, they just haven't gone to the next level to actually solve the issue. But like, I'm making $10 an hour, and to afford rent, I need $15 an hour. That's a very real thing. But the issue is not you needing $10 to $15 an hour. The issue is inflation. So if we stop ruining what money is, you don't need to worry about a living wage, because what's happening, everyone keeps talking about, the increase in cost of goods and everything. But let's call it the last 5 years was 25% conservatively. Over those 25 years, prices have increased. How many people do you know have gotten a 25% pay raise in the last 5 years?
no one.
That are not self-employed business
Right.
owner, right? Less than the 1%, right?
Like just from working a job.
A normal person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're lucky and your company's awesome, they'll give you a 2% raise. Maybe. Like, bro.
Well, just like back in the day, boomers, when they bought a house, it was usually typically like 2 times their salary.
Right.
Is how much they bought a house for. Now, what is it like?
6, 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least.
Way higher.
At least, yeah.
It's wild. And then, you factor into a lot of other things. Now that also used to be a one household income, could afford that. And now it's essentially minimum 2.
Yeah.
So, and I think that goes back to the seed oil thing, is I think part of that was a selling point for mothers that now were no longer able to be stay-at-home mothers, had the convenience of having quick food, because they can't cook, take the entire day to make lunch and dinner for their families. Now I need to throw something in the oven in 15 minutes to feed my kids because I've been working all day, So I think that was a selling point, an insidious selling point there too. Is like
100%.
When they started coming after the nuclear family.
Yeah.
And this all goes back to when a certain group of people created fiat currency.
Oh God.
I just think it's crazy how many parallels and knots you can tie between all this that's going on. Because like it almost seems like some people can argue that it's all coincidental, that this just happened. But sometimes you can look at it in a sense where it's like, okay, this is almost like it seems like it's almost planned from the beginning. Or it's just a matter of coincidence and, happy accidents for certain people, I guess you could say.
It's the, absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? When you get into those positions of power, I'm not saying I would be any different because I don't know. I would like to think I would be more noble or altruistic or, benevolent, but I don't know. I never had the ring of power, right?
Right.
So, not yet.
Right. Yeah. I wouldn't want it, man. That whole would you ever be president? It's like, we need someone who doesn't want the job, but it's the perfect person to have the job because they would do the right things.
But they don't want the job.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Those people are not applying to be, president. So.
Yeah. That is the problem with politics is like, if you're going into politics, it's usually for the benefits. I think that the small group of people that do go into politics to like make the world a better place end up becoming corrupted anyway. So it's like, okay, yeah, we have people that want to run for office to do good things, but they'll get to them anyway.
JFK. I don't know if he was a great president or not. I wasn't alive, but he did some speeches that I definitely agreed with that probably some other people didn't.
Yeah.
So.
To be fair, like they killed him, so he had to have been doing something right.
They
did.
The aliens.
That's where the shot came from.
Yeah.
Atlas 39. Atlas 39.
It was the last drive-by, yeah.
Yeah, we were here like 80 years ago. Stay tuned for the next one.
Oh, no. Oh, what else you got on that list? These are good topics.
I know, that was like... I'm going to have to save these for another episode. There's so many. They're all... I'm glad that this conversation has gone the way it has. It's kind of all stated in like the same relative scope of things. I have actually I was going to bring this up earlier, the lab grown meat that kind of ties into what we've been talking about too.
Are you talking about like Campbell's specifically? Have you heard about all of that?
Well, so that's a great example now, but originally this topic was just about lab grown meat
in general,
like Bill Gates and stuff like that. But the Campbell's thing, now that came out,
and I don't know enough.
Great.
I'll be the first to admit I've only read a headline, so I haven't deep dived into this. So
you've had Campbell's, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Of course.
It was
half the story right there.
It was legitimate audio of, I don't know if it was a CEO, but it was a higher up of Campbell's, and he basically admitted to there being lab grown, genetically created substance in the Campbell's soups.
Chicken, yeah.
I think point one would be, I don't think you should ever trick. So like seed oil is bad. Should you be able to eat Oreos? Yeah. Should you be informed that it might not be the best thing to eat? 100%. Should you be able to smoke cigarettes? Yeah, I don't care. You're an adult. Again, right. Whatever that age is, you're 18, you're 21. I don't ever want somebody telling me, and I don't ever want to tell anyone what they can do with their body outside of harming another individual, right? Beyond that, I believe in personal sovereignty. You want to be fat and live your best life? Go for it. I don't care. I do not believe in tricking consumers. So if you have a label on it and I'm not talking like underneath, inside, hidden label, but if you're informing the customer of what the product is and they're still choosing to ingest or partake or whatever, cool. I have zero issue with that. My problem is like being misleading or misdirecting the customer in any way. Now, B, do I like lab grown meat stuff? Absolutely not. Back to the earlier point is like, I always think the hubris of man is the biggest kind of like downfall. So thinking that you can out engineer nature, I just think it's like, even if you're a creationist or Darwinist, whatever that is, right? Evolution, you should believe that nature knows better than man. Cause like, even if it's evolved over 50, 60 million years or whatever, that's probably gonna be better than like 50 years of technology, you know, like, so, but also things can be done right. There's things like white oak pastures, all those kinds of things. Like you can farm correctly. Factory farming, I don't necessarily agree with, but if we're doing things again, hyper local, I was talking about, like, I think there's better ways to do things. I think we should treat animals with respect. I always try and buy higher quality meats that cost a little bit more, but I don't want chickens in cages. That shit sucks too, but I'm not going to not eat meat. I think meat is necessary to our being, but I think you as a responsible human should know a little bit more about your food source, right? I don't think you need to go hunt or whatever, you know, kill the animal. I think that's okay. But it'd be really cool as if everybody knew their local farmer. I think that'd be awesome. I'm going to go pick out my chickens. I'm going to go get Lucy, you know, the cow passed away and we bought half of her and it was awesome. And like, they care about the animals. That, well, like there's a way to do things. I think that's better.
Well, that's why like European food is so much better than American food because they buy more local than we do. Yeah. So they have like central local markets that they buy from. Versus America, I think I did like a paper about this like a long time ago, but when the railroad system first came out, that's when it started to not become centralized. So like Florida people used to buy like products from Florida and eat that product. And then sometime around the railroad system, I think it started with cows. They started shipping cows to Chicago, and then it would all get processed there, and then it would ship out from over there. And then everything else kind of like followed a similar path.
I do think the benefit that Europe has compared to the United States is the United States is much bigger geographically. So it's like we're doing everything in the country. But like you said, if we're transporting a cow from Florida to Chicago,
back down to Florida.
Right. But with Europe, it's like, okay, if it stays in the same country, that's essentially staying in the same state for us. You know what I'm saying?
Not really, no.
What do you mean?
Like I think we need to look at America, like we need to get back to like a small, bigger government. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with that. But what I'm saying
like
is
every state is pretty much like a country.
I know. And what I'm saying is geographically, every country in Europe is equivalent to the size of a state in the United States.
Yeah.
So if you transport something in Italy cross country, you're transporting it like across Florida, essentially. So geographically, they're benefiting, as long as they stay within the country, they're benefiting from having a smaller sized country. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. But I guess it'd be like shipping from Spain, getting meat shipped from Spain to Russia, back to Spain.
Right. That's what I'm saying is a lot of times in Europe, I mean, part of it is maybe legal. Part of it is just culture. Like they stay local. But I think that because of the fact that their countries are much smaller than the United States, it almost helps them stay localized.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right?
Oh, yeah,
because like if you have, if you have the country of Spain, you have farms in Spain, you have everything in Spain.
Because of taxes.
Right.
You know?
But it only stays in Spain, which is essentially like the size of, I mean, it's smaller than Texas probably geographically.
Yeah.
So it's easier, you're not forced to, but it's easier to stay local in that setting than versus the United States, where it's like we transport something from here to Chicago. That's like transporting, like you said, something from Spain to Russia.
Yeah. Like I was in Okeechobee, which is a big farm town, and I was calling local butchers because I was trying to get a brisket. And then I was like, do you have any brisket? They're like, yeah. I was like, is it local? And they're like, well, not as local as they're like, it's about as local as we could get. And I was like, What do you mean? Like, this is a farm town. Like,
Yes or no
I
question.
see cows right
there's
there.
cow farms everywhere. And then, but the way it works is they send the cows to an auction outside of Florida, and then those get auctioned off to,
But I think
The
these
meat
are problems
providers.
we can solve. Like that's
Right.
that's my point. Is like I feel like sure, there's a lot of excuses of like it's done this way because that's the way it's always been done, or conglomeration. Like why have 100 small businesses when you could have one big business, right? And it's like no, we need to go back to much more localized. You want to talk about creating jobs? Bust up, this and create 100 of these that are hyper local. Now you have 100 meat processors instead of one that we're shipping everything to, and out in the middle of wherever.
Yeah.
And those guys, shout out to everybody that does that because that's a wild job.
But now we're so far past it that it's almost impossible, right? Because like we're not producing any lettuce in Florida. It's all from California now.
But you could do that so easily with the dude. One container could feed like 100,000 people or whatever. You can get the hydroponic gardens and stuff. I mean, you could create a little 4-story building of those in every major metropolitan area. Now you have greens and produce for the entire city, hyper local. That is way more organic and healthy than you don't have to spray pesticides and all that stuff because it's inside instead of outside. There's so many things that we can control and eliminate that are negatives.
Yeah.
And then
I guess infrastructure would just be a major cost.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that than bombs. I mean,
Yeah.
we got enough of those.
I think
I don't have.
going back, hundreds and thousands of years ago, everyone was
Oh my God.
local because
Because it had to be.
they had to be. Like you said, the railroads were created so we could travel farther distances. Now we have cars, we have planes, we have the means to get across country or across the world in a day.
Right.
Back then, it's like, listen, you had the farmer over here, you had the butcher over here, you had the blacksmith over here. Everyone was in the same area. So you really weren't importing much from outside of your city or your town.
By necessity.
Right. By necessity, at least. You could get like cool stuff from neighboring nations or stuff you may have not had. Like, okay, cool. Now we have blue dye because we can figure out how to do it. But
You also could barter services and products too.
right. But back then, it's like we had food because if we didn't have a farmer or someone that was raising cattle, like we didn't eat. Now it's like, cool. I go to Publix. Where does that come from? Probably not even Florida. It might come from another state.
Chile. Like
Or
whatever,
Chile, yeah.
Brazil, whatever.
But yeah, so, and full circle, back to technology and the consequences of technology. Is it laziness?
I think
Like
it's
too
money.
much convenience? I mean, money for sure.
Because you can patent lab-grown meat. You can't patent a cow. So I can make infinity money if you're buying my test tube meat. You're only making whatever it costs to raise, and take care of and foster the cow before you send it to slaughter. So it's the same with drugs. It's what the medical industry is doing with patenting. They reformulate something that's been in existence for 50 years just so they can repatent it and sell it to you again for $500 instead of $50 or, off-label stuff. So it comes back down to the greed side versus the good side. But humans respond to incentives. So Malcolm Gladwell wrote a good book about all of that kind of stuff. But if we realign the incentives, I think a lot of these things will eventually fall back into place. It's just a matter of how do you have someone with the courage to be able to do that from the top down.
I'm glad you brought that up, medical industry, because one of the topics that is on here.
I'm on fire. I've not seen this list, by the way. So
No, this is great. This is all working out. One thing I have on here is psychiatry isn't real.
is that's it? Is that a question or a statement?
That is the topic. Psychiatry isn't real.
Psychiatry or psychology?
No, psychiatry isn't real. There's a bunch of topping points on there too, but
Like you're saying as far as like a therapist?
that's essentially what they are. I think psychiatrists. Like, is psychiatry really real, or is it just kind of made up in order to prescribe people certain things? Like what problems does psychiatry actually solve?
I think
Or you talk to someone long enough where you have to agree with their opinion before you're deemed healthy.
I think back in the day, those were just called friends. Like you're supposed to be able to have banter and feel like you can trust your group that you're around enough to have intimate conversations with or struggles or lean on each other, right?
We also used to have asylums back then too.
Yeah.
Shutter Island.
Lobotomies. Yeah. Bring back lobotomies. Ugh. I don't know. I feel like there is something to, so yes and no, right? Like I think there is something to talking stuff out, talk therapy, if you want to call it that, whatever. Like, and I think if you have a good person leading you in that direction, I think it can work. I also think I think it's higher than 80-20, but the 80-20 principle plays into the fact that, right? Do I think most of them are probably more of a drug play? Sure. Because I feel like there's a lot of, going to the gym is way more effective, proven over and over and over and over and over again than any other psychiatric drug or anything. I mean, the biggest side effect of most psychiatric drugs, including depression drugs, is suicidal ideations. I'm coming to you and telling you I'm thinking about killing myself, and your method of treatment is to give me something that is going to make me think about killing myself. It's just like, bro,
Right.
I don't think that's net positive.
This topic came up because I saw a video where someone was interviewing different psychiatrists, and their question was, how many people do you think you actually cured? And they're like, wait a minute, like, what'd you say? Like, how many people have you cured? And not a single psychiatrist was able to actually answer the question of being able to cure someone.
Well, that was the Pfizer meme or whatever. That was like, Pfizer has been I'm going to ruin all of the statistics, but Pfizer's been in existence for 100 years and they've created 500 drugs or, treatments and 0 cures.
Right.
So it's the same kind of thing as like, but then what is a cure, right? In their defense, I love playing devil's advocate. I love kind of thinking through things. We're movable beings, right? So, if I go to a psychiatrist and they help me deal with my problem today, it doesn't mean I'm not going to have problems tomorrow. So in their defense, I mean, you're always running into challenges and stuff.
So come back and see me again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. So it's like, are we actually curing people, or are we just giving them a temporary solution to fix now?
Advil.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's definitely some people that benefit from it.
Okay.
How often do you go?
I don't go at all, but I think
Not me.
the best psychiatrists don't really don't offer like medication. You know what I mean? They just try to fix the underlying issue.
So you mean like there's real psychiatrists out there?
Yeah, 100%.
So
I mean,
did Tony Soprano benefit from talking to somebody?
the TV show?
They did a lot more than talk.
Well, like
Those kind of therapists.
That's a cure.
Yeah.
well, like what about people with like PTSD? Like it probably benefits them
Okay.
a good amount.
But your point is that there's a few psychiatrists that are actually doing the job,
yeah,
but
yeah,
most of them are not, and they're just prescribing stuff to help you feel better.
yeah. That's what yeah.
Okay. No, that's a fair point.
So what were you prescribed?
I never went to one, but
He's getting awfully defensive.
no, they're like him, like playing devil's advocate. Like there's definitely some that are out there like doing the actual work. And then there's others that, like, oh, you come to me, you're depressed. You're a 13-year-old teenage girl depressed. Here are these antidepressants. When obviously it's a 13-year-old girl going through a bunch of hormones. You're going to feel those.
If you're not depressed at 13, I would be
Yeah.
more worried about you. Like, you got so much, male or female. I remember that time. It's like, dude, you're going through, and now it's even way worse with technology, cell phones, and all the social media stuff. Like, dude,
Yeah,
you're
Well, and
gonna
two,
be
it's
going
like,
through stuff.
should we call it depression or should we just call it hormones? Like,
Yeah,
if you
100%.
tell a
You mean
13 if you tell a 13-year-old kid like you're depressed,
I don't even think it's that. I think it is depression, which is also a hormone. But I think it's the reframing of the entire thing is you're never going to be happy 100% of the time. That's a fallacy. So like you have emotions.
Mike,
You
I've
have
never
to-
not seen you smile, man.
Oh,
You're
well,
always happy.
I'm the exception to the rule.
I think the point I'm trying to get at is like I think we throw the word depression around too
Too
loosely.
easily. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like for
100%.
example, okay, as a 13-year-old, what are you really depressed about?
I don't
Like
even
a
think it's
boy at
bills.
school?
Bills,
I don't
Like,
even
man.
think we're saying it too easily. I think it's just that it's a diagnosis of like permanence. So
Okay.
I think you could be depressed 10 times a day. It doesn't mean you're
Gotcha.
living in that state.
So
you
you're
have like ebbs and flows, but you got to like, hey, hang out, take fucking 10 deep breaths, and I guarantee you're going to feel better.
Okay.
Yeah, but
All
at that
feelings
age, you have
pass.
homework. You got to
Pass.
work. You got to pay bills. It's difficult.
13-year-old.
so you're saying that the definition of depression
It's
is
probably accurate.
different.
No.
Well, meaning that like depression is not like a permanent disease.
I don't think it defines you. Where
Right.
culture today is like, you're depressed. Sorry. Oh my God.
you're stuck with it
it's-
for life.
Yeah. It's just the end for you. That must suck. I'm so happy over here. Man, I can't believe you're depressed.
We
It's
know,
like-
Mike.
but it's like, no, that's cool. Work through it. Hey, how can I help? Let's go for a quick walk around the block or whatever. Let's get you out of that state. Move your body, you change your mind. It's like help people through that, not like you're fucked.
Okay.
Yeah, I think people just try to take the easy way out, and they don't want to work through their problems.
100%.
That's mainly what it is.
100%.
Everyone goes through waves. You go through
Yeah.
a depressive wave, you go through a really happy wave. When you go through the depressive wave, you just work it out. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Like you're depressed for 30 minutes.
But
And
also,
then
how do you
you're
get on a subscription model? Back to your point, the insidious side is how do I get you hooked on something for the next 60 years?
McAllen 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or down,
Great cure, by the way.
down more, I guess.
Down more cigar malt.
Well, you guys have been beating me.
Sorry, I'm about to have a second one. Mark?
Oh, thank you, Mark.
Yeah, I think just
Thank you, Mark.
my view on it is like I think ADHD is thrown out way too much.
I agree
Like,
with that too.
every
12-year-old
top
boy,
one.
what 12-year-old boy is
Right.
going to sit still for 8 hours? Back to the school thing, right? Like, no, man, they're going to run around and burn off your energy. That's the point. Like,
Right, like every child has ADHD now.
Thank
Or
Especially because, like, like if you don't walk to school, you're being driven to school, or like there's no recess, or when you get to middle school, high school, there's no there's no PT, there's no everyone's forced to get gym as an elective. Like that's all taken out, so you don't have to do anything.
Is it?
I don't think you're forced to go anymore.
I think that I mean, when I was in high
There's an
school,
elective.
when I was in high school, you had to have at least one semester of PE.
For the 4 years,
Yeah.
or just
For the 4 years.
Yeah, for the whole 4 years.
okay?
But I mean, to be fair, it's been a long time since I've been in school. I would not be surprised if PE was not mandatory at least for one semester. I mean, the way I did it was I had like a full year of PE in 8th grade. So when I went to high school, I didn't have to do PE. But for most people, they had to do, I think, one semester of physical
I
education.
think you're right. For me too, I think it was similar.
Yeah. So I mean, like, but no, to your point, I mean,
did
it's a great
every
point.
year. Every year I had a.
You did every year?
Yeah.
But are you talking about like sports? Because you did wrestling. So are you talking about that too, or
No, I think I had to take different PE class. I think I was in volleyball 3.
in high school?
Yeah.
Okay, but did you have to take that
The advanced class.
I think I had to take like some kind of like PE class, I'm pretty sure.
every year?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You were only like 4 years ahead of me.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's back to the victim mentality state is a similar, maybe parallel. Is like we should stop trying to tell people or convince them that they're victims and start giving them the tools and abilities to realize that you can overcome any situation. Right?
How to win,
Not
essentially.
Yeah, not saying that what you have been through, like the worst thing you've ever been through is the worst thing you've ever been through. So like whether that's a paper cut or your parents passing away in a plane crash, right? Like it affects different people differently. So I'm not taking away anybody's experience, but instead of saying you should just live the rest of your life, woe is me, we should be focusing on like, hey, part of opportunity of like this life and right now this country is like you can, if you put in the hard work and really try and better yourself in a lot of different ways, you can become a better person or a better situation or a better outcome, right? Not you're stuck in this forever because something happened to you. I just think that's such a limiting belief that, encages people and traps them. And I think it's a similar thing. It's like, you've been diagnosed with this thing. This defines you. This is who you are now. Instead of like, hey, it's a thing that we can work through. You can better, you can put these tools in your toolbox and move forward from, you can then help. Look at David Goggins, bro. That guy's like a freaking beast. And how many people has he helped kind of pull out of that similar situation from something that he's dealt with just because he's battling the demons publicly. And it's like, dude, all right, cool. We're all going through stuff.
This is where I think that like someone like me, I use technology to benefit myself and keep learning.
100%.
But people that like watch brain rot all day and fall into these like negative categories can find something where like, oh, cool, I'm a victim. I'm trapped forever. Now I'm going to repost something and keep blaming myself and my environment and never get out of this like shield they created in their mind.
When it became like clout, like you're collecting badges. Like I'm a victim here, so I'm better than you because I'm more of a victim than you. And it's like, that's such a bad, why? I don't know.
It's backwards.
Yeah.
Well, like to your point too, like on TikTok, I've come across all these like quote unquote autism influencers, like where they have autism and then they kind of like show you what it's like the life of an autist, essentially.
I might have to get TikTok now.
TikTok is wild. But like there's this one particular influencer where she claims, I mean, she probably does. She has autism and she will kind of showcase like what it's like to be autistic. So her husband will be like, hey, like, did you do the dishes? And then she's like opening the dishwasher and she's like, I was just about to do it. And then she like goes into like a depressive state. And then everyone's like, that's me. I'm like, dude, I never wanted to do the dishes. Like if like
Yeah.
The mindset.
That's when you bring out the good old, like, you know what I mean?
so like the whole example was like, for example,
No comment.
when your parents told you to do something that you were about to do, you would like get upset about it. I've been there, done that. I never went into like depression because of
You
it.
just say on it or doing it.
Right. So, but kind of where I'm trying to go at is people will say like, hey, if you're
Yeah.
if you go through this, and this,
Speaking
you're
of
autistic.
depression.
People on TikTok will be like, "Oh, here are signs that you're autistic." It's like this, and this, and I'm like, I'm like, cool. I deal with all three of these things. I guess I'm autistic. Like
I can believe that.
yeah, the whole thing where it's like, okay, everyone's autistic now. Like if you go through these three things, which is like normal emotions, you're autistic. And I'm like, okay.
Dude, you want to hear something wild? When I lived out in the Bay Area, working in like the tech sector, this is like 10 years ago, round numbers. It was like hot to be autistic. So like companies were hiring you because you were autistic. So then you had people parading around being like, yeah, I'm on the spectrum. Like normal people, sure, they're a little more intelligent or maybe they're a little bit better at math or whatever. Again, it's the spectrum for a reason. But it was just really funny that became like vogue, where it was like, also shout out to like Love on the Spectrum, because that show is fantastic.
Oh my God. I've only seen clips.
It's so good.
Does anyone need another shorty before we start?
Yeah, I need another one.
Okay.
I'm down.
Can you, there's bases in here. Actually, I'll just hand it to you. There should be enough for all of us. I'm going to give you one. You don't have to light it now, but I'll give you one anyway.
Thank you, sir.
Shout out to Cigar Bros.
Yeah, love that thing, man.
Dude, that's so cool. You showed me that today, and I was like, what? I've seen the smaller size, but that guy is pimping. And surprisingly, very wieldable. Like we were talking about, like it's actually easy to carry around and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like you look at it and you're like, I don't know. And then you like pick it up and you're like, oh,
yeah, it's super light.
How many are in there?
2.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
Here, you have one.
Just cut that one in half. You guys can share.
I'll grab another one.
Just give me that. Just give me that Bentley right there.
Yeah, take a Bentley. It's fine.
All right. Thank you.
Either one of you. I don't care. I'm sure I can get more.
You might know a guy.
I might know a guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's an interesting time. I just don't think we should let those things define us, right? I feel like any person, regardless of, even if it was like an actual debilitating state of XYZ, I don't want to call it a disease, but mental state or whatever. It's like, dude, we should still accept them for being a complete human, right? It's just they're living a different experience. I don't think you need to shut them. I mean, dude, how many people? I wish I could rattle off some names because there's some super inspiring people. But like, how many people have? This is a terrible one, but like Stephen Hawking, right? He had every excuse to be.
Yeah, he was on the Epstein list too.
Yeah. That's what I'm like. This is I was like, I already know a lot of like bad things. It's not the most inspirational, but but still, as far as
we'll
like
use him as an example.
Scientific mind, right? He could have shut down and just died in a home somewhere because of her circumstance, because he wasn't always like that. So it's an interesting, some people, I don't know the tools that those people have that others don't, that allow them to do that either, right? There's people, another terrible example, because he's turned out to be not the greatest human being, but Will Smith, not the greatest background, and like became, for a period of time, one of the most beloved actors and, musicians in the entire world, and then
best rapper.
A little bit of a fall from grace.
I don't know about that.
I'm down a Nas rabbit hole, man. That guy's like blowing up my playlist. I know I'm late to the party, but good Lord.
Spotify?
No. I have
you're the outlier, Jared.
I have all my music on my phone. I refuse to do streaming services. I know. I'm very old school. I think I'm about bringing a tape deck back, but it's starting to be hipster.
iTunes?
So no. Yeah, I guess technically, yeah.
iTunes, but not Apple Music.
Yeah, correct.
I think we were at Blend the other day. I saw an individual with an actual
iPod?
No, CD player.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
That's pretty cool, actually. I was like
I love it.
Remember those CD players you just put on your arm?
Yep.
With a head.
Dude, when I was a kid, it was like the no skip technology had just came out. So that was like the hot shit. Instead of like when you're riding the bus, like trying to keep it from like skipping while you're going over the bumps, you're like, I have 10-second no skip or 15-second no skip. Yeah. But then batteries died really fast.
I've never heard of that in my life.
Well, you will soon, because it's getting popular again. So when you're searching that $500 CD player on eBay that I bought for $15 back in the day.
That's funny. Yeah, I grew up in a generation where I had an iPod.
I had the first iPod Shuffle. I still have it somewhere in a drawer.
Yeah.
I had the first iPod video. I thought it was pretty cool.
Those were cool.
Yeah.
Those were cool. The screens on that back in the day were like mind-blowing. Dude, Apple...
Because no one's doing it.
Let's talk about that as a little digression. Apple as a company has fallen far from grace.
Oh, yeah.
The stuff that they used to come out with, it's just copy-paste. Bro, how many years of copy-paste can you do before the company starts, declining?
Apparently infinite.
I know, right? That's what bothers me so much. It bothers me because people
in all fairness, you're talking about the iPhone specifically or all the products?
Products. Bro, what? I will give them the M chips, but that was just a matter of evolution. And that's an Apple thing anyways, is they want to control hardware, software. So like, that was inevitability. But you look at the product itself, dude, the old MacBook Pros were so successful that they did a 10-year run of a redesign and went back to the 10-year previous entire layout. Physical buttons, all the ports, MagSafe, everything is...
I think when Steve Jobs comes out of hiding, they have all these brand new ideas.
Is it the same time like Walt Disney, they just put their heads on new bodies? Clone bodies?
You have to defrost Walt Disney, though.
Supposedly. Who knows?
He's in the tunnels. But yeah, I think the issue is if the consumer is going to continue to buy the products regardless, then
but do you feel like that's declining? Do you feel like year over year, like you remember like early days of iPhone, you bought at minimum every other year release
because it was that
fanboy.
Yeah, it was such a huge jump. Now it's like, dude, I have a 12 mini, and I'm like, I'm not.
I think that you're in the minority.
100%.
I think that most people still will upgrade at least every two or 3 years,
yeah.
which is enough for Apple to be like, okay, well, we don't need to invent the new phone.
So you're more or less like a 6 or 7 year kind of guy?
I'd like to push back. I actually think I'm a trendsetter, and I think you're going to see more people holding onto the devices for much longer. I just think I did it.
Well, and that's going to be economical reasons.
So in theory, if AI software gets more performant, why upgrade the hardware?
Well, that's
if you get a software update. But then with
that's Elon Musk's thing is you're not going to have apps. You're going to have a brick that AI is every. You want to look at photos.
I'm glad you saw that episode too.
But to be fair, if you're talking about
was that Rogan, what was that? Yeah, okay.
If you're talking about upgrading hardware, if the software continues to get better and better, you will have to upgrade the hardware. But we're talking about essentially like reinventing a new phone. Like,
well, I know that. What I'm saying is,
I mean the laziness of like it still has shoulders. Like, dude, how many phones have come out with like under screen cameras and stuff where it looks like a complete beautiful glass surface? Like, there's so many technologies that they're just like sitting on their hands about that. It's like, dude, come on, guys. Like, what are we? I don't.
But what I'm saying with AI, it's like the full self-driving stuff that comes with on the Teslas. They were able to remove like 300,000 lines of C++ code because of AI. So if the software gets more performant, you still get over-the-air updates all the time. But like MacBook, they eventually force you to upgrade because they stop updates. They stop backwards compatibility.
Yeah, but that's happening with Teslas now too.
Yeah, but we're talking
first
over
generation
like
Teslas can't
several
do what
years.
Can.
Yeah, but that's like over 10 years old.
Yeah, but that was the same with Macs back in the day.
I know, but I'm talking about my Mac. Maybe it's Zach's Mac. One of them, like that's I think 2 years, 3 years old. I still get updates, but we're getting to the point where with cars, Tesla,
we're violently agreeing. But I'm saying like earlier versions of Macs, you could hold for a decade.
Yeah, I think that
and now we're just at that same stage. In the future with cars is you will hold on to it for a decade. But dude, as that starts ramping up, you don't think Elon's going to be like, you have to buy a new car every 4 years?
No.
I do. 100%.
They're already talking about backporting full FSD to hardware 3, but just a lower light version. They're actively doing it all the time.
So what you guys are saying right now is I think it's a matter of if Elon is going to become greedy or not.
No. I don't even think it's that. So I'll go, I'm not even blaming Elon. I'll extrapolate. So if how do I word this properly? Because my brain is just not. So if I'm an insurance company and I'm allowing regulation for full self-driving to then be full autonomous or whatever, I know there's levels, so you can speak to this better than I can because I don't have a Tesla. But like, if this hardware software is deemed safe enough for XYZ use, and then you can pigeonhole it into this, but if there's one instance of performance error, then like it's not even Elon's decision anymore.
So you're saying it's a regulation thing?
Yeah, like we were talking about the stupid fucking car seats for kids. Like, what are you really like a seatbelt? I've had a seatbelt in a 1960 car and I can still drive that around. A seatbelt in a kid's seat it's a fucking kid's seat, bro. You don't need a new one every 3 years. That's marketing. That's money to get you to buy a new thing. So I'm not even saying it's an Elon thing. I think they could get the technology to work. Elon and his team of engineers are some of the most brilliant minds in the entire planet.
I get what you're saying, but like insurance doesn't care about full self-driving software. They care about the driver driving the car. But I can see where they could add regulation for that. But how would you ask them, did you upgrade? Okay, you can't use that.
I think that Mike is saying that could very easily be the case where it's like, well, this doesn't meet our standards, therefore...
For XYZ reason. Yeah. I mean, if one... Because they're looking at him like eagle eyes. So if one instance happens on an older hardware software set versus a newer one, anything. I mean, it fucking runs over a turtle. They're going to be like, has to be obsolete. And of course, as the company, not saying Elon as an individual, as a company, capitalism, and I'm not, capitalism is the best system we have, but as that, you have to make more money, right? So then as a company, well, what's the solution? Yeah, you gotta make sure you upgrade to use XYZ feature.
So like, that current insurance company charge you more for an older car?
Or disable the feature. You can still drive the car. The car cannot drive itself.
Well, the insurance company couldn't do that.
Yet.
That'd be crazy.
Yet.
I understand where you're going with this because
the long term, I've been, again, tech world or whatever, the whole 20 years ago, well, not 20, 10 years ago, the whole play was eventually self-driving is going to be so safe that they're going to argue against you driving. So the long-term play is to get everyone off the road except self-driving cars.
So it's funny you say that. The latest update with FSD 14, they now track and show you, are you FSD or you're not? And if you swerve a little bit, it says, hey, just turn on full self-driving.
Yeah, I saw that firsthand.
Yep.
Like if you're tipsy or something, like you're just driving erratically?
I changed like 2 lanes really fast and said, hey, just turn on full self-driving.
Huh.
Because
this was 0 drinks, by the way.
Right. Yeah. No, none of that. Just like, just wondering, like, is it a bit like, like it beeps if you go out of a lane on a lesser car, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But it
was like that. It's like making a suggestion. It's like, hey, you're driving like an idiot.
And see,
self-drive.
This is where I get paranoid again, or whatever term you want to use. Is like, I think we should always have options. I love the idea of having the technology, but then if we walk down the road of like, now you're telling me I can't drive a 1960 Porsche, what I don't know, whatever. It's like, dude, no. Like, I love automobiles. Like, I should if they take a driving away, I'm gonna like.
No, I agree with you.
Nuclear.
I think that you should always have the option.
Yeah,
but it's like,
and you get that cool blue license plate.
Yeah, the antique.
Yeah.
If you think about it, I feel like just naturally as a system, we will move into the system of like everything is self-driving.
Back to laziness.
Right.
I can TikTok while I'm getting driven to work or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, not work because nobody will be working.
And I think that if enough people, if enough people do it, like let's say 70, 80% of the world is self-driving, there's 20% that want to still drive themselves. The government would just be like, okay, well, it's safer if we have everyone self-driving, so we're just going to get rid of it, period.
Yeah.
Or I don't agree with that.
Relegated to zones. So now you got to live in a drive your own city or whatever instead of.
So I think you probably have to pay a bigger tax to drive.
Yeah, it's all good. It's money. To be fair, yeah, it'll be a money thing. It'll be like, okay, if you want to have a car that's not self-driving,
you got to pay tax
or insurance. Right? Your insurance will be $1,000 instead of $100.
And that's an easy one. They'll be like, okay, your car doesn't self-drive.
But then why, if I have 0 incidents of crashes, why am I still paying insurance at all? So if self-driving is so good, you shouldn't need insurance.
So right now,
that's great.
Theoretically, right? Like if we're really going to go down that rabbit hole, then guess what? I shouldn't be paying insurance at all.
Yeah, but then when you crash, then
I wouldn't crash. The AI is crashing.
Wow, you shouldn't.
I'm not driving ever.
Okay, so if you agree to full self-drive.
But what he's saying is, if self-driving is that good, there should be no crashes, period.
Right. Yeah. And I'm not saying today. Today. We're talking future.
This is hypothetical.
This is a Tesla without a steering wheel. Like.
I think it'll happen in about 30 years.
I think it's gonna be less than that.
Way faster.
Like 30 months.
So as of today, I can program on my laptop by full self drives, but if I pull out my cell phone, it starts freaking out.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
It'll let you be on your laptop?
Yeah, I've done it.
No.
Meetings, coding.
Interesting. So like the cameras detect you in the driver's seat on your phone, freaks out like, hey, you can't do that. You in the driver's seat on your laptop is like no tag.
Doesn't say anything.
Do you still have to have your hands on the steering wheel?
No.
So question, and this is just, I'm asking your thoughts. Do you think it's because of the way you're positioned, or it's because of the actual handheld device versus a laptop?
Yes.
Or it hasn't been trained on the data?
Both?
And the next step, they're going to allow you to text and drive very soon.
Okay, but...
In what states? Because you can't do that in Florida.
Exactly.
So I'm going to ask the question again.
It doesn't see the laptop. It sees a phone.
But that's what I'm saying. So has it not been trained on the data to recognize a laptop to then flag you?
Yeah, it probably thinks it's a bag or something.
Right. So you think it's a device thing versus like where your eyes are or where like...
Yeah, because my eyes are still forward. I'm just doing this. But I put my phone out.
Okay. So I think what your answer is, it's a positioning and like eye thing.
Okay, so A/B test. Have you ever used your phone to your description? Have you ever used your phone over here and it flags you?
Yeah, but I could put it behind the camera and it's just fine.
Yeah, but to be fair, you're still looking forward. I think that it's able to recognize if you're like looking down versus looking forward.
I'm still looking down if I'm using my laptop.
That's what you're saying. His laptop was like on the side.
So I don't think it recognizes.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Like a police laptop, not a in your lap laptop.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fair.
Because if you see the Tesla, if you see the Teslas that come up to you for service, they have a laptop and their center console too.
Yeah.
Ooh, so maybe that's maybe it's written out for service use,
Probably.
but it's carried over into
Yeah.
public use because they just never flagged it out. Interesting. Well, you just gave them something to do, so good job, Elon. You can also give us 15% of that. I'll take 5.
I'll give you 7 on that one.
Perfect. Well, I feel like he's more deserving. I'll take it, but also like that was more his idea.
I'll give you 5%.
I'm fair. Yeah.
I'll say I think in a regulation wise, like 30 years, like that's when laws will start coming out like against you driving.
I will say I think regulation's definitely part of the reason why it might take longer. Like to your point, we'll have the technology for sure, but it might be a regulation issue that ends up prolonging it.
I hope. I mean, like I said, I love the ability to choose. I don't like the ability to be told what I can and can't do. Back to personal sovereignty.
Yeah.
So, and if the technology's that good, you shouldn't worry about people driving on the road. You should be able to be offensive enough to avoid issues.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, too, if most people are self-driving and that's the safest method, let's say.
Or put self-driving lanes. Instead of toll lanes or whatever,
Maybe.
these 2 lanes are, your AI mode.
Yeah.
And then these 3 lanes are whatever, or vice versa, whatever.
But theoretically, that should still lower the crash rate anyway. So if you're someone that's choosing to drive, the car that's not self-driving, a manual car, so to say, there still should be less incidents because you're choosing to drive that vehicle. You're probably a good driver, at least a decent driver. And if everyone else is self-driving, the crashes are way less.
So are all of the accidents manual drivers into manual drivers, or manual drivers into AI drivers, or AI drivers into AI drivers because a manual driver is driving bad?
I mean, realistically, it'd be all of them.
Yeah, it'd be all of them.
I guess. Yeah, it depends. Like if you rear end a self-driving car,
Touche.
or
Also, okay, I'm going to voice a complaint right now. My biggest issue with EVs, not harping on Tesla, but that's the primary one, so you see it the most, is you can regenerative brake by just letting off the gas. But all of society forever has always been entrained that slowing down has red lights associated with it. So for you to be able to go to a stop without ever touching your brakes should be illegal.
it still shows the red lights. Though.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
No,
It does.
It does.
It does, yeah.
Not the ones I'm behind.
How do you know they're?
How would they be slowing down from like 50 to 10?
I don't know.
I know
mean,
his
it's like-
Cybertruck does it all the time.
It shows it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen.
From my understanding, if it's braking at all, like regenerative braking or you itself, it should be showing a red light.
Okay.
Now,
If
granted, I
that's
need to-
true, then I take back
Yeah,
my statement.
But granted, it's always been the image inside the vehicle. I have to drive behind Jared so we can confirm it because the image shows like it's braking because you have like
the heads up display. Yeah.
right.
It does. I
So-
see it every night because every time I back up or anything like that or pull in, you see the red lights come out.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Well, but-
maybe they fixed it.
Maybe if you run on your phone, you notice it breaking.
Maybe it's the older versions
Joking.
of Tesla that are going to be outlawed by all the insurance companies soon.
It could be that too. It could be an older model, and maybe I don't know. But because I thought about that too because my parents got a Tesla a few years ago, and one of my first thoughts was like, wait, is it showing a brake light if I take my foot off the gas?
Either way, it'd just be a software fix.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It'd be really simple.
Yeah, easy. Oh, I want another one. I don't like. How many more do you have? These are so great.
Topics? We have a lot. I didn't think we'd go through all of them. I think we've probably gone through like 10%.
Oh wow.
No, yeah, there's so much on here. I just had AI do it for me because I'm lazy.
Hey, ChatGPT, what should we talk about today?
This was Grok, so that's why you're getting all the
sorry.
great topics. Let's see. I'm just going to read some. Pronouns in bio equals government informant.
Fair.
Anti-aging cream works, said the 60-year-old influencer with 12 surgeries. Eating bugs will save the planet.
I think skincare is a scam.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, they get girls on these skincare routines that are like $60 for like this little vial.
And they look worse than us.
I'm a male. I freaking rub my face with some freaking bar soap. I'm fine.
I don't even do that.
I get no pimples.
No, to be fair, I think that I agree with you. Skincare is a scam for the most part. I mean, like, obviously, take care of your body, like, wash yourself.
Yeah. Like, if you have bad acne, whatever, and, you know, they have these acne.
Yeah, you're a teenager.
Yeah.
But to be fair, women that wear makeup all the time, that is part of the cause of their acne because either they don't clean it off entirely. I mean, even if, let's say you do a really good job of taking off your makeup, there's still residue in your pores and everything like that. So that's going to cause like outbreaks and stuff like that.
Well, and your skin is your largest organ.
Right.
So, like, would you rub that makeup inside of your intestines or your stomach lining?
Yeah, but you're forgetting to
Probably
exfoliate afterwards. So you need another cream to put on your skin.
And then the Vaseline, which is just a derivative of making gasoline, which is hilarious.
But to your point, Mark, we don't do jack shit
Nothing.
and we look beautiful.
Sponsored by.
Insert product here.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, and to your point, Jared, I mean, okay, cool, you have this makeup. Now you need this product to take it off. Now you need this product to make sure that you're maintaining the moisture in your face. Or
Seems like a waste of time.
I 100% agree.
Well, and
I don't wear makeup.
You talk to a lot of guys, and I think everyone would agree a little bit of like maybe blush or lipstick makes you slightly more attractive, and that's for like, you know,
I don't use that either.
old reasons.
He's talking about women.
Yeah, women using these items. But I think you would get 10 guys in a room and you would show like a more natural looking makeup look or someone without makeup, and then someone who's like super dolled up. I think
Caked.
9.8 guys out of 10 would be like the more natural person
100%.
looks more
Yeah,
attractive.
100%.
I
So
think
it's like they're doing it. Girls are doing it for girls.
Yeah.
Like they do all of that shit for other females.
War
which
paint.
is wild.
And that's not even your opinion. That's actually like statistics.
Scientifically fact.
Scientific
yes.
data showcases that we prefer the more natural look than like,
And they do it for other women. That's also scientifically proven. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. No one hates women more than women.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well said.
So I get to a point.
I think he's right. I've seen that. Yeah.
No, but I understand to an extent, like, you know, when women say, oh, we do it for other women, like I get that. But there's also part of it where it's like you are doing it for male attention too. Like there's definitely a mix
sure.
of both. Yeah.
I think it's more they're consciously doing it for male attention. Subconsciously, it's for female, you know.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, listen, you can't convince me that if you're dressing for female attention, you wouldn't wear clothing that sexualizes you. If you're straight and you're trying to find a guy, so to say, you're dressing a certain way. But if you're dressing for females, it's like when, like guys, we're like, we don't give a shit. If you show up in a t-shirt and shorts, like I wouldn't notice. And if you show up in a suit and you're sitting next to Jared, I wouldn't notice. But
or you might be like, oh, you look good today, whatever.
Yeah,
and then
whatever.
move on. It's like less than one cycle of brain power.
Right. So if women could just collectively come together and say we don't care about each other and how we're dressed, then that just solves all the problems.
But then wouldn't they just all be wearing sweatpants and then all the guys would be unhappy because there wouldn't be like hot chicks walking around anymore?
No, because they still seek male attention. But if they don't, let's say I'm wrong and they don't, then you're right. They'll all just be wearing baggy clothes.
Which can be hot too. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're attractive, you can be attractive and pretty much any, again, back to the guy thing.
Right,
It's like,
exactly.
bro, I don't, you know, a chick puts on your shirt. That's like one of the hottest things she could do, right? You're like, oh shit.
Right. So that goes to the next thing, where it's like, do guys actually even care?
No.
At the end of the day?
I don't.
Not really.
You still want to see a chick in a bikini. Like, don't get me wrong. We're a visual species, right? I mean, at least me, I'll speak for myself personally.
With no
but it's
makeup.
like, well, I mean, I would rather you get in the water than you be prancing around the beach and not getting in the water because you're fearing about ruining your makeup and your hair. Like, I want a chick that like can have fun, not prim and proper herself all the time. That's just obnoxious. It's exhausting. But to each their own. I don't know.
Another level of stress. Like, I want you to have fun. Don't be.
Yeah, like live life, bro. Come on, man. We can go to like a nice ball gala thing and you can do all of that and we can be in that environment. But you
Right.
don't have to be that all the time, right? You know.
No, 100%.
If you're worrying about yourself that much, it makes me worry about you. Then I'm like, I don't want to worry about you.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like that extra stress that's not even necessary at all. It's like, bro, we're at the beach. Like, no one cares.
Right.
No one here is looking at you.
Or they all are.
Right. I mean, because
Because
how
you're
attractive you are.
sweatpants.
What is this idiot doing?
Yeah.
Quiet quitting is the new heroism. Translation: do nothing and get paid.
Ooh, are we talking
How's it
about like
going?
America or Asia?
I think it's going
What do
on
you want to
everywhere.
talk about?
How does that make you the hero, though? I need more of like I'm aware of the phenomenon, but I'm not.
I think the hero part is more sarcasm.
Gotcha. Getting paid for free.
Yeah.
Have you? Was it Korea? I just watched a video or whatever about this in Korea. I think. I'm sorry if it's not Korea, but it's like you get assigned less and less work, so they keep you on as a way to make you quit because they don't really fire in this culture. So then a way to make you quit is they just assign you less and less and less.
Like
and less
they bore you to death.
In the show Silicon Valley,
Essentially.
that's what they did.
Yeah. Yeah. But then it was like all the comments were great in that video on YouTube because it was just like, oh, like, don't threaten me with a good time or like American's dream or like all the, I was like, dude, this is.
I think this is more of self-quitting on your terms. Like you're choosing to, like, you're not quitting flat out. You're basically saying like, okay, I'm just going to not do my job.
I think
So
how
is this working just enough so you don't get fired, but working just barely enough so you get paid?
So quiet quitting, at least by my definition, is like you're essentially not doing your job.
And just waiting to get fired?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Like how long will they keep me on and pay me before they legitimately say like, oh, you're not doing jack shit.
But I feel like that's I feel like that's way less of a. I think that's like again a marketing spend propaganda thing. Is like I feel like dude, if you talk to the real world, there's so many people like looking for and applying to like 1,000 jobs before they even get a response, let alone an interview. So it's like I really don't think there's a lot of people that are just like, fuck you, pay me. I think most people are like, I would love to work.
I agree with that, but there's also companies that offer unlimited PTO. But if you use that and you're never there, you're like,
yeah, but you know
that's like a sore thumb.
You know that's a trap too, though. You know they offered that because you actually statistically take
Right.
less than 2-week PTO, and if you get fired or let go, they don't have to pay you out for your missing PTO. So technically, it's another way for the company to save money.
So never take PTO.
No,
What?
abuse it is what I'm saying. Most people don't. You should.
I'd rather just get paid out for PTO.
Yeah, because what he's saying is if you have, let's say, 2 weeks of PTO, most people will take all the 2
You have
weeks.
to, yeah.
But if you have unlimited PTO,
I can always take it,
right.
and then you never do.
What I'm saying is if you have a chance to work at a company where it rolls over, which most companies I've had do that, you just never use it. So if you ever switch companies, you get paid out a shit ton of money.
Right. Yeah, you get your 8 weeks or whatever you were owed.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's a specific circumstance. If it accrues and rolls over.
What are we talking about again?
Yeah, what?
Getting paid.
Yeah.
Well, that's the point is like if you have 8 weeks of PTO, they have to pay you for that regardless. If you have unlimited PTO and you quit, you're not getting paid for anything.
Nothing.
I know.
You only really get paid if you're using it, sort of thing.
Now with that, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
But then too, it's like, all right, be honest with me. If I take off every single day of the year,
Yeah, you're not going to be working
that's
there.
exactly.
Yeah.
They're not going to keep you.
No.
So there's no such thing as unlimited PTO anyway.
No.
Like you have to still do the work.
Well, and a lot of those are startups, and you're working way more than you would at a normal job. So there's a lot of deadlines that are back to back to back to back.
45 hours a week.
So it's not like you get, yeah,
Right.
31 hours a week, and
It's
most
like
of that's coffee breaks.
At the end of the day, how much PTO can you actually take before they fire you?
Right.
Which essentially is you're not doing your job.
Yeah, the quiet quitting thing, I think, is less of a reality than I think they're talking about. I think my experience of people that I've talked with or seen around, social media or personally is like a lot more people looking for work than people trying to not show up to work until they get fired.
Well, maybe it's because of all these quiet quitters that there's no jobs that need to be filled.
I think it's just another way for the companies to downsize without talking about it. Like there's a whole thing right now where they're, oh man, I wish I could remember the term. It's like a term like quiet quitting, but they're doing it for layoffs. So it's like staggered layoffs, because if you lay off more than a percentage or whatever of your employee force, you have to like announce it, and then that
So Amazon did that.
reduces your stock price. But if you fire 50 people a week, that's sub that percentage, and then you never have to talk about it. It's never in the news, but you're still doing the same thing.
So in like Washington, that's what Amazon just did. They go like 10, 20,000 people. They're going to do a second layoff in January because they have to meet the percentage. They also have to print out per name why, and it's public information.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
think quiet quitting
wild.
was more of a thing pre-COVID when the job market was super strong. And
Well,
now
and in COVID, to your point, you could work from home, so you could be
Yeah.
a little bit more lazy without getting caught because you're not showing into an office. It's much easier to not be at your computer if you're working from home than it is
My
to
power's out, the
Yeah.
internet's out.
Right.
And two, I think because if you went into an office, like them seeing you there, at least if you look like you're working, then you're working. But if you're working from home, it's more like, okay, are they doing the job? So if you're not there, it's now based on like how much work you do versus like just you being there, because people could go into the office, not do jack shit and get away with it for so long.
Right.
But with working virtually, it's like, okay, he's logged in, but nothing's getting done.
Right.
Like the employer can now realize it a little bit easier than versus just like, oh, you're walking back and forth like in the office. He's working. He's here. He's doing something.
Like in most tech companies, you use something called like Atlassian Jira or Trello. So they're actively tracking all the time. So if you're not moving tasks daily,
Oh yeah.
they instantly see it.
Right.
Well, even mouse. I mean, it got so granular that it would be your mouse movements, and then they would make you turn on webcam so they could actually like see you working, which to me is like so dystopian. But
I mean, they even did that with school, like especially after COVID. But a lot of the virtual classes that you would do, they would require you to have access to
right.
your webcam essentially to make sure that you were actually there doing work.
Yeah. Yeah. I took a few classes during COVID too, and that was wild. That was a wild time.
I've seen a bunch of videos where like even when they have the webcams off and like the guy would take the picture and they would see the flash go off on the professor's like camera. So essentially it proved that she could see everyone's cameras even though they were turned off. Like his camera was turned off, he took the picture and it still flashed.
That's sketchy. See,
Right,
back to
that was a
lying,
big
right?
issue.
Like for me, it's like if you're
Well,
gonna
I'm
do
naked
it,
most of the time, so joke's on you.
naked in my Tesla driving around town selfly.
Yeah, so that was a big issue. And that was a lot during COVID too. It's like, okay, all our cameras are off, or at least this guy specifically, he had his camera off and he took a picture with a flash and he showed the professor's screen and you saw like the white light flash.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No. Well, two, these are all
So-
minors. So it's like, okay,
So there's a perfect reason why I always cover the webcam.
Oh yeah, same. I have forever, always.
Always.
Yeah, just a post-it note.
me too.
I've also had this cord like a plug in that goes to nowhere, turn off the mic, so you can't record me either.
Oh, because it's like an
Oh,
external
yeah,
mic, but
yeah.
it's not really a mic.
Yeah, it just goes to nothing.
That's smart.
Well, you could do the Zuck thing and do the Scotch tape over it or whatever. Apparently, that's
We'll have a modular until it slides, so it's always pitch black.
even better.
anyway. Yeah.
That's smart though too with the audio because it's like, okay, it's plugged into a microphone. It's not able to access your actual
Yeah.
like built-in microphone.
I'll send you a link.
Thanks.
sponsored by.
Like Jared assumes I just talk to myself the entire time while I'm doing work.
No, but what if we're editing a super secret podcast and someone's like, okay, that's what they're doing next. So they're going to do the exact same podcast and rival us.
Ooh,
What, the NSA? Who's accessing my microphone?
they.
I do.
They.
Wait, what?
I do. Low key just slid it in there.
Okay, so we have Jared, who's literally on the same podcast as I am, who has no motivation to leak information, or we have they, who is not creating a cigar podcast.
Do you think they have that in their bio? They? Is it a them followed by like, you know?
If they're a government agent, yes.
CIA's new pronouns is CIA, they, them.
That's fair though, because there's a bunch of them. We should have less of them.
Ugh.
We're still smoking. All right, I think I'm actually shocked this didn't come up naturally, but why AI girlfriends are taking over?
Oh, that's so easy.
Are they really taking over though?
I don't know
It's
anybody
a
that
small
has
group
that.
of people.
That's going to be exponential. Just wait.
Yeah, maybe.
Just wait.
I do believe that we will. I think it's going to be an exponential growth thing. Like we will see more and more of it.
Now, I do
It's only a
agree
matter of time.
with you when they have the physical robots.
Correct. That's what I was going to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
The only caveat right now is you don't have a place to
There's
finish
a whole-
the flirting. If as soon as that bridge is gapped.
I forget her name. Megan
Megan
Fox
Fox?
was in this movie where she
Megan,
was.
wasn't it? Wasn't it Megan?
No, Megan was a horror movie.
Oh,
I
Um,
know. What
I
you're
know.
talking
I know.
about.
Yeah,
I don't
she had
know
the
the
UV
name.
light. Yeah, I know what you're talking about too. That was a great movie.
Yeah. She was great in that movie, by the way.
Yeah, she was so great in the movie.
But yeah, so okay, too long of a laugh. But so she is a robot, essentially, like an AI robot. That was a, I guess,
It's like a maid or
babysitter,
self-
well, it's
housekeeper.
because the wife got sick and he's
Yeah.
watching two kids, so it's like he needed help because he's gone all the time. And all of a sudden, she started hitting on him, which was insane because it's a robot. But
Well, it's a movie. They had spicy mode on. Is the problem? He didn't know how to turn it off.
I mean, I think if you give a lot of guys Megan Fox robot, you know, You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, oh, he didn't want it. Okay, but
Right.
in this movie, the guy doesn't want sex.
Most guys will try things once.
I do think it'd be cool to have like I said before, like the Tesla Optimus, have them like, sweep outside, vacuum inside, do like small things like maybe make eggs in the morning or something like that. Like
The cook side, I would like the little cleany stuff for me is like novelty. Like to me, that's not worth 20. Let's round down the 20 grand. But now you're talking like personal chef territory. Like I can have you meal prep and cook things for me real time. That to me is like easy all day, 20K. I don't care if it did anything else.
Yeah, probably basic stuff. Like probably not like full on casseroles or full on like brisket.
Still cheaper than a wife.
I don't even mean for the wife replacement thing. I'm just talking about like if I'm paying to have help around the house, right? Like to me, the meal thing would be so beneficial.
Yeah.
Like sweeping my, if I could do that in 10 minutes, I don't need $20,000.
Yeah, but what could you be doing? You could be working, making more money per hour, and the robot pays for itself. That's the way I see it.
Realistically, people would be even more couch potatoes.
100%. I'm just going to sit there and be yelling at my robot for being in front of my TV while I'm trying to watch it. Bro, hurry the fuck up. I'm trying to watch fucking whatever. Yeah. Joe Rogan reruns.
I think they wouldn't get in your way. It would just be like, they would know.
It just folds in half and like sweeps under the TV.
No, it'd be done.
Or they just do it at 3 a.m.
Now I'm pissed off because it's fucking making noise at 3 a.m. when I'm trying to sleep. Hey, bitch, you don't have to sleep, but I do. Shut up.
Vacuuming at 3 a.m. in the morning.
You can set parameters. So you can say, do this chore during this time, this chore during this time.
Oh, you're already right. The rhombus or whatever already does that. The shark already does that.
Yeah, they do that, yeah.
But it's extremely loud, but yeah.
It's not that bad.
Mark has a new model.
I think the home use of those is going to take longer than people think, though. Like, I think the ability for it to do those things will increase exponentially and happen very quickly. But then I think back to the litigious state of America.
If I could,
and to have something in your home that has how many outliers? Like driving, there's a couple of outliers. In your house, everything is an outlier.
If I could bring Tesla Optimus, pull up to Corona, get out of the Cybertruck, and the robot gets out with me, and we're smoking cigars outside.
Gets out with you. It should come around, open your door, take you out, and carry you into Corona.
Personal butler.
Yeah.
I'd probably make fun of you.
Until you got your own, you're like, okay. Well,
If I saw you hanging out with a Tesla robot, I'd definitely make fun of you.
Okay, so then as a retailer, do I now charge you for 2 chairs?
What?
Like if you're coming in and you're now 2 people instead of 1.
They don't have to sit.
I know, but then you're still taking up space. Fire occupancy is 50 bodies or whatever, and now you're 2 instead of 1. That just cut my customer base in half.
2 drink minimum.
I'm like, down.
Ooh, yeah.
Down.
You got to drink for your robot.
Yeah.
That's going to drive me home anyway.
Every drink's a double anyway, so I already beat you there.
You're right. In your case, you're...
Jared's like, I have to drink more.
Darn.
Yeah, the robot drive you home.
Is this finger
But the car drives itself.
Like,
Exactly.
So why is the robot at Corona anyway if the car can drive itself?
Right.
Like, what do you need
It's
the robot
a
for?
joke. I'm not going to bring a robot to Corona.
2 is 1 and 1
Please
is
play
none.
along.
But I would bring the robot to Corona. Just to be like, yeah, this is
What are you going to name it?
Megan Fox.
probably like fake Jared Burrows or something like that.
I thought it would be some like silly binary joke, like 11001 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, look
6,
it up.
7.
Look it up. Pretty much.
C++. I don't know. Whatever. I don't talk nerdy to me.
Jared?
No. All right. Fell flat. Perfect.
Well, I just think that it could do all the menial tasks.
Like lighting your cigar,
You could just
ordering for
continue
you.
working. It paid for itself, and it self-recharges.
But then it goes back to the whole thing is like, I don't want to work more. I want to work less.
Well, that's the idea. So then the next step would be, what else can it do for you? Like, for example, if you get a robot that can like band wrappers, help, like all the things that like,
Oh, 100%. That's why I
put a
think
cell
that'll be
fan
the
on.
first use. I think industrial use will happen way sooner than people think. And I think home use will happen way later than people think.
So, I mean, it was probably like 10 years ago, but when I got my first Tesla, I went to a gigafactory, and like, it was still mainly people snapping things together, but you still had robots lift all the heavy lifting.
Did you go to the one in Cali?
Yeah,
San
Fremont.
Jose? Fremont.
Yeah.
I went to that one too. That's really cool.
I was impressed. I was like, I've never seen, they said there's 17,000 blue collar people hired and working there, American made. So, I mean, it does provide jobs. But once you get to the point where the robots take over the factory, then you are killing jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
But then, okay, so this brings me to a point.
if the robot only costs 20 grand or 30 grand, you just pay the entire salary once and it pays itself over and over.
You can get 4 people for the price of one.
Yeah.
And they work 24 or 23/7. You know what I mean? Like,
so
but
years ago, we had the division of labor while you build a car. Now you have one robot build the entire thing. It's like exactly what you're saying.
But this brings me to a point I would like wanted to float to you guys. So this is something I've been wrestling with in my head, like trying to game out is like, so we're in I'm going to forget the terminology again. What is it? Like what would be a post-economic situation? So the whole extrapolation of this, the best case scenario, even Elon talks about is like, we're going to be to an age of abundance. Power is going to be infinite because of AI. They're like close to, not technically infinite, but close to. We're going to have infinite labor because of robots, all of these things, right? So that means you don't have to work, even if we have UBI, whatever it is, blah, 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 blah. But human nature, you always have to have a hierarchy. You always have to have low, medium, high. So if we're in a post-economic situation, how would that exist when you could theoretically have everything? Because then let's just call them the elites, right? Whatever, the upper class. How would you allow everyone to have a mansion?
Right.
Like, how does that work? To me, I just can't wrap my head around, like...
I think because of greed, it won't work out. Like, you're always going to have that elite class.
But then does it just go from rich and poor?
100%.
Oh, yeah,
literally just like everything, nothing?
I
Or
think
like
that's
a
where-
house. You know, you have like slop for food.
But
in
I
the
think that's
house.
where we're heading. I think that there's going to just be lower and upper class.
So I think what Elon Musk was talking about on the Joe Rogan podcast was that people would have abundance, but still like, even if you have money and you can feed yourself, you still have to produce some kind of equity, contribute something to society in which you could buy a bigger home. No one's just sell that to you. Like you're still not gonna have enough money to buy like a $3 million,
but I'm
$10 million,
extrapolating
$50 million
even
house.
on his idea, right? So like theoretically, again, infinite energy and infinite labor. We've never had that as a species. So extrapolate that out. Like literally, I want a Bugatti. It can be crafted, and I just have to wait a week.
So that value of that car would go down, so it's more accessible to you.
Everything's free. Nothing costs anything. So how does that work? It breaks everything.
It would.
Like theoretically, the long term of that, right? Again, infinite free labor, infinite free power, which then means we can create or mine or get resources. So infinite free metals,
So-
materials.
Hear me out. So like years ago, when someone built like a cathedral, made a natural painting, years later, it's worth so much more. So in theory, if AI takes over, maybe people would spend their money on natural things that human made and it'd go back up in price.
Artisanal versus.
So you act to liberal arts instead of like,
See, that's where I'm going back to the education thing. Like if I had a
kinda
kid,
goes
it
full
would be
circle.
like, yeah, I would push into creativity.
now the
versus-
painter's like, oh my God, this guy didn't use AI.
Right.
We saw it in person.
Right. Yeah, his robot didn't paint the painting.
Yeah.
On that note, we're at 2 hours now, so I'm going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
What?
Nailed it.
I know, that flew by. I was looking at the time. I'm like, geez. Okay, so
Sorry about that.
no, you're good, dude. I love a long episode. Mark doesn't, but
What?
As we ran into hard drive space like 6 hours ago.
yeah, that's what Jared's worried about. All right, so hope you enjoyed that episode. Mike, thank you for joining us last minute. This was
pleasure.
great. This
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
We'll do it again.
Gonna try and probably upload this before March, so maybe we'll see what happens. I don't know, but anyway,
Months too late.
thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you check out Hooten Young Cigars. There's a lot of more content that we're going to be doing around Hooten Young Cigars. I think a lot's going to be happening around this company in general. So by the time you're watching this, there's a lot going on, and we'll dive more into that later. But thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Dude.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Cigar Guys Podcast. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the latest episodes. Looking for short form content? Check out all our social media accounts in the description below. And now, a final word from our sponsors.
What if every cigar was considered vintage? What if every cigar that we made was that perfect experience? And so that passion drove us to create Sans Pareil, a cigar without equal. The inspiration between Sans Pareil is 100% all about quality. Everything that we enjoy in our cigars, everything from the tasting notes to the burn, to the aroma, to the way the cigar lights, to the packaging, everything is focused on Sans Pareil cigars. And that's where we came up with our name, Sans Pareil, which is French for without equal, unparalleled. And we take every cigar that we make to that level, making sure that if it isn't something that inspires you to do something more, then it's not part of the portfolio, and that's what drives us every day.